Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, oh, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
A very good morning, you beautiful people of Mzansi. Welcome to your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso on SABC3. Happy Thursday to you.
I think my hand's gotten soft, dude. I can't do these high fives. I'm going to have to warm up this year, man.
And it's still the first week of us being back at work, right?
I'm loving it.
Back to school from next week for everyone else.
Stop saying it already.
You have to go there.
Come on. Mentally prepare yourself for that.
You're on holiday, and we're going to treat you like you're on holiday. In fact, we're going to continue with what has been an awesome start to the year, building up to the launch of the Commuter, the latest Liam Neeson thriller. I'm going to be chatting to Jaume Colette, that's how you say it, Jaume, with Spanish passion, director of a brilliant film, a brilliant young talent as well. Can't wait for that.
Very interesting. And speaking of movies, JP Sebastian joins us in studio to give us his popcorn evaluation on the game of, in fact, the movie Molly's Game, and it's based on the true story of Molly Bloom. Very, very interesting. High poker, underground, high celebs, high
Every movie
stakes.
needs a popcorn evaluation.
A popcorn evaluation. How many popcorns would he give Sub-Zero Surfing? I don't know. In fact, I'm still stretching my mind to try and figure out what it is. We will find out on the show today. Sub-Zero.
Cape Town's waters is cold enough. Why would you want to do that? Anyway, speaking about one of the coolest cats in the industry right now, Nomuzi Mabena, a.k.a. Musli, will be joining us for some music. Getting cash is what she's all about. And I understand she's been making quite a bit of it as well.
Yeah, no, she's hot.
Anyway.
She's hot right now, man.
Let's start off the day and take a look at the temperatures all around our cities in Mzansi. Ewan, how are you doing, bro?
Good. Good morning, my family, and good morning to you at home as well. Let's have a great Thursday together. Starting off quickly with your weather and those temperatures. Now, South Africa can expect very warm temperatures today, from the high 20s to the early 30s, even reaching the 40s in Cradock today. So please stay cool and hydrated. Polokwane this morning, 12 minimum with a mild 24. Mbombela, 14, 24. Pretoria starting off on 14 with a maximum 27. Johannesburg, 14, 28. Mahikeng, 17 minimum with a maximum 30. Klerksdorp, 17 with a maximum 29, and a couple of thunder showers expected, and some thunder showers for Kimberley as well. Minimum 19 with a maximum 34 degrees. Bloemfontein 60, 30. Richards Bay 18, 28. Pietermaritzburg starting off on 13 with a maximum 28 degrees. Durban 20, maximum 26. Mthatha 15, 32. East London minimum this morning 21, reaching a high of 28 degrees later on today. Cradock 18 with a maximum very hot 40 degrees. Port Elizabeth on 21 with a maximum 28. George 18, 33. Sutherland starting off on 13 with a maximum 35 degrees. Cape Town also nice and hot today, 19 with a maximum 31 degrees. Worcester 15, 41. Wow, very hot in Worcester. Springbok 16, 35. And Uppington also very hot today, 22 minimum with a maximum of 39 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and temperatures right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for the 6:30 bulletin. As always, we'll keep you updated. I'm back just after 7.
Well, let's take a look at the roads, starting off in Gauteng and Boysens. Now, there's some congestion building on the M1 northbound heading towards the Crown interchange. And then in the Western Cape, take note that on the train lines, the Central Line service has been suspended. There will be no trains operating on this route, nor replacement bus services. Commuters are advised to please make alternative travel arrangements for this week. Well, that's where we leave your traffic for now. Another update coming your way in half an hour.
Efferflu C Immune Booster from Pharmadynamics. Effective, affordable healthcare.
All right, Mochait, so let's take a look at some social media right now. We're on Facebook. Graham and I are sporting some very confused faces because we are asking you today, what are you expecting or predicting we will see more of in 2018? We gave you a couple of options, perhaps artificial intelligence, self-driving cars, fashion comebacks, or even cheaper data, perhaps. Come on. Thomas says, I think we'll see African intelligence or cheaper data. We already have an abundance of African intelligence, I can tell you that much. But okay, cheaper data for the win. I'm all waiting for that. Valdine says, most definitely cheaper data. I'm a social media addict, so lekker dagje in vir jou ook. Kabi here says, fashion comebacks have never failed us. And I wonder which one it might be. Garth here saying, cheaper data. Shakir saying, fashion comebacks. Cheaper data seems to be the one that most people are agreeing on. I think we could all agree on that, certainly. But do you keep interacting with us on social media, on our Twitter page and our Facebook page using hashtag Expresso Show.
Yeah, like that. Exactly. We're having like a joke here.
Twice we've managed to out you this year, dude. Oh man, so good to connect with JP Sebastian. It's the first time I'm seeing you, so happy New Year, my brother. I think you might be quite interested in the interview I've got coming up with Jaume Coletsera, head of the Commuter, brilliant young Spanish director. Stay tuned for that one, JP.
Yeah. And then JP, he is actually here to do some work. He's talking about the movie Molly, a true story as well.
Molly's
and I wonder, Molly's Game, yeah, I wonder if he's in a popcorn getting mood. I don't know. We're going to find out a little bit later. It doesn't look
poker face.
like it's... Yeah, well, it's a good poker face after the break.
I'm coming! I'm running, Toyo! It's not right, but it's okay.
He's up.
Who's gonna? Am I gonna kick it off? Okay.
Okay, we could go by taking a moment to remember one of our own, the late great South African athlete Johannes Snavel-Jun, having...
Standing by, quiet, please.
4, 3, 2.
We live in a world that is changing so rapidly. Let's put the brakes on, see what makes today, the 11th of January, momentous.
That's right. So we kick off by taking a moment to remember one of our very own, the late great South African athlete Johannes Snavel-Jun, having competed at various international games, including the 1928 Olympics. He remains one of South Africa's greatest athletic all-rounders.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's determination. I love that. Then on to Croatia now, where on this day in 2015, and excuse my pronunciation, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarovic was elected as president, marking the first ever female president for the region. At the age of 46, she also became the youngest person to enter the office. Well,
all right. And last but not least, happiest of birthdays to Mary J. Blige. Born on this day, 1971, Mary ranks as one of the most successful female R&B artists of the past 25 years, having sold more than 50 million albums and 50 million singles worldwide. What a talent.
Living legend at that. And that's our bite-sized dose of what went down today throughout history. You go out there and make it one for the history books.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, and that tune means one thing only. Time for us to find out what our local stars have been up to in Mzansiwood.
I feel like everybody has been doing a baby dance.
Baby dance?
Yeah, if you know what I mean.
I feel like we should change it from Mzansiwood to the baby report.
The baby report. And that's because 2018 is also off to a great start for Joanne Strauss, because she was on Instagram very recently, I think yesterday, in fact, and the business magnate, I'm going to call her that because she's an entrepreneur, presenter, and all these things, but she shared the exciting news of her latest pregnancy, sharing that she's been having morning sickness for a while now, but she's grateful for her growing family. Take a look at that post that she put up. And of course, we already know that Joanne is already a mom of 2, a pigeon pair, which we are sure are very, very excited to meet their new baby sister or brother. So congratulations to Joanne and the family.
Yay.
Look at that.
It's the year for babies.
we said it earlier this week as well. Last year was the year for babies.
Last year was the year of pregnancies. Now everyone's having babies.
But I also feel like every year is a year for babies, guys. The
think
population is steadily increasing.
Honestly, we should start a baby report. We should. if it continues like this, we should.
We should totally have like a
With its
map.
own music.
Map, right? And then like spot which region has the most babies coming up. And then
we can do our own survey. You see now? Anyways.
Talking
Who's
about
water to avoid?
talking about other presenters, this is Pearl Modiadie, ladies and gentlemen, and she's certainly living her very best life, because while most of us are off heading to work this morning, getting the kids ready, or maybe still on vacation, she's still living her bestest life on vacation. The media personality has been sharing several photos of her latest adventures in, guess it, in Boracay. Boracay. Have you ever been to Boracay?
No.
Did you know Boracay existed? No, neither did we. Anyway.
Ask you where is it on the map?
Give me a map and I'll surely fail that $1 million question. Anyway, from taking all the spectacular views, and she's been doing some stand-up paddling, she's doing it all, having an absolutely fantastic time of it. And not sure about this, but I think in one of her earlier posts, I did spot her with a potential bae. Like, she was definitely going on this vacation with someone.
Well, someone had to take the photos.
This is true, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also, there's been a bit of a ring situation on her finger, which makes me kind of think like, okay, is it honeymoon before? Pretty honeymoon? I don't know. Just speculation.
Maybe it's just honey in the moon.
Maybe I'm just starting a rumor. I don't want to start rumors.
No, let's not start rumors, I'm sure. Something will come out pretty soon, we hope, but that's a quick roundup of your local entertainment news. We'll bring you the international side a little bit later on.
Now let's talk international film for a second. Of course, I was lucky enough to jet off to New York, America, where our next film that we're previewing is actually set. In fact, it's all set on a train that is bulleting out of New York. It stars Liam Neeson, and it's going to give the Liam fans exactly what they need as he teams up once again with Jaume Collet-Serra, who's proven himself a master of the action thriller genre. I had the opportunity to sit down with the incredible young director.
In Liam Neeson's latest action-packed thriller, The Commuter, the acclaimed actor collaborates for the 4th time with renowned Spanish film director Jaume Collet-Serra.
Jaume, so I'm connecting you to a legion of fans all the way on the other side of the world in South Africa. So
South Africa.
Gives me a great pleasure. Have you ever been to South Africa?
Shot in South Africa, shot a few commercials in South Africa.
And a lot has changed, but it's still just as beautiful. But
sure.
I know you are earning more fans there with the release of The Commuter. Absolutely brilliant. It was just what I needed to wake me up after 24 hours of travel.
Oh, yeah.
On the seat of your pants, the nuance, the balance between action and thriller, quite spectacular. Again, bringing us a very different Liam. What was the experience like working with Liam on this particular film?
We wanted to, obviously, after having done 4 movies with Liam, we want to keep surprising the audience, and the only way to do that is to surprise ourselves. And I wanted to have him play a character that was normal, like a normal, regular guy who he doesn't have a dark past, or he doesn't have to redeem himself from something that happened. He's just a good dad, a good husband that has worked his whole life to provide for them, and one day society tells him, you're too old, that's it, it's over. And then through this movie, you know, he kind of gets his mojo back, and he proves that regular guys can be heroes too. And so it's ordinary guy in extraordinary circumstances kind of movie. So I think it's going to be very refreshing, because that trickles down to the action, which is not it's more simple but more tense. You know, he doesn't have any special skills on this movie. He's just a big guy in a train, throwing a couple of punches and losing most of the time.
Yeah, so taking a couple of punches along the way.
Exactly.
There is something, I'm glad you said a very real kind of guy, and you have brought us many Liams in different guises, but there is something that grabs you as a viewer, puts you in that seat. I find myself asking questions of myself. What would I do? How would I approach that? But there is a physical inertia to the film. Maybe it's got something to do with the train. How do you go about achieving something like that, a physical reaction in the film? Because by the end of it, you are exhausted. You feel like you've literally been on that train.
Yeah, that's just by keeping a good pace. I think that and not letting the audience rest too much. You know, I think that, you know, when you have a tense field situation in a pressure environment like a train, or a plane, you know, that you cannot get out of, and that creates that sort of thing in your body, you know, that makes you react. And I think that that's what we're trying to do, you know.
I've now got an 8,000-mile commute back to South Africa. I'm going to be looking at every passenger out the side of my eye. If there was one thing you wanted to achieve with this film, do you think you've achieved what you set out to do?
I think so, because it's very hard to have a thriller that also gets emotional and that has a meaning.
Yeah.
You know, usually it's just about solving a mystery, but this is much more than that. This is some sort of a metaphor for a guy and how hard it is to go and commute and provide for your family and still come back home and be dad and be the best husband, and and basically, Liam, is always saving his family, but the reality is that everybody's saving their own family when they go to work, and they're trying to do the best for them, and that's everyday hero. So that works in the movie. I think everybody gets that feeling at the end of it. So that's why we're happy with it.
As a new father, I certainly feel that, and
Yeah.
I absolutely love the film. Instant gratification of the action and a brilliant thriller element.
Great.
I think you've proven yourself a master
Thank
of
you.
your craft, so thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you. Have a safe travels.
Thank you so much.
This is one train ride audiences aren't going to forget anytime soon. Get to local cinemas from 12 January when The Commuter speeds on to the silver screen.
Well, it's Thursday movie morning. In fact, we're talking movies the whole morning. And at the Golden Globes this past weekend, both writer Aaron Sorkin and lead actress Jessica Chastain cracked 2 nominations for Molly's Game. Now, Sorkin got the nod for adapting Molly Bloom's true story of a woman facing hard time for running the world's most exclusive underground poker ring. Idris Elba plays the lawyer fighting to keep her from folding. But here they are in Molly's Game.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I threw 4 people under the bus for $35,000, Charlie. I noticed you kept that out of your speech to the prosecutor.
No, don't do that
I took
to me.
advantage of gambling addicts. Donnie Silverman, my brilliant find. He lost
Molly,
$6 million
stop.
on my table.
Stop.
Moved to Florida, got a job as a substitute teacher, then hanged himself
and
in his
that's
shower.
your fault. That's
Donnie
not your
Silverman's
fault.
dead. Harlan Eustace is in jail in Nevada, wishing he was, but that's not why I'm saying no.
You're not saying no.
I was named after my great-grandmother.
I don't care.
Molly.
We will
Dublin
stay here
Bloom
all night
is my
until you
name.
understand. Until you understand, nobody gives a about your good name.
I do.
Why?
Because.
Why?
Because.
Tell me why.
Because it's all I have left. Because it's my name.
Molly's Game, it's her name. Well, we have JP Sebastian in studio. What did you think of the movie?
Wow, okay, straight into it.
Let's get into it.
Well, since you just told me everything it's about, I think I'll fill them in too, since you've done your own research as well.
I did. I was
what do
very
you know?
fascinated. So I watched the trailer, and then I saw they actually interviewed Molly Bloom and she was telling how she got into it. She took a gap year after studying, and her parents didn't approve, and that's how she started doing odd jobs and waitressing and got into the gambling world.
Okay, my job's here done.
No, it's just so interesting. It's based on a true story.
No, totally. So, I mean, she had a really strict father. Who pushed her. It was for 10 years that she was an Olympic skier. She had this mindset then of just rules and methodology. Winning was everything, irrespective of which game she was in, whether it was skiing or, in this case, it was hosting the largest, most exclusive VIP underground poker game in the world. Where you filled me in that one night she saw a player that she was hosting lose $100 million.
I can't even picture that kind of money.
But spooky. But you're sort of thrilled by this, so I think there's like a streak in you that we just don't know about yet.
I have no poker face, so I would love to. I can't wait to go see this movie.
Really. Jessica Chastain is remarkable as usual. There's nothing bad I can ever say about Jessica Chastain, and Idris Elba, as you can see, puts in the work. We love that man too. So starts a small town girl, goes to big time, gets stuck in with the FBI who come knocking once she's found not just to be hosting these games, but bankrolling some of the players who need credit. Also taking a rake is what they call it from the pot, which is basically illegal.
Yeah.
So 17 guys with assault rifle show up at your door and ask you some questions. So she had all her money taken away from her by the government in civil forfeiture and owed taxes. She then wrote a book, and she didn't want to turn her back on some of the people who used to play with her.
She had some high rollers.
Very concerned about honoring these people's careers and whatnot. Some of the high rollers that she mentions in the book are Leonardo DiCaprio was there, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Tobey Maguire, politicians, mafia, corporates, all sorts of in the mix, and all obviously a man's world.
Yeah.
She's trying to claw her way through this and sort of sees that at every level, whether it's as a cocktail waitress that she starts at to the highest echelons as predator military.
But what I was genuinely surprised was the real Molly
Bloom, yeah.
Molly Bloom, I nearly said Brooke. Molly Bloom, she's very young.
Yeah, I think she was 26 when she was at her height of doing this. But now she's just sort of hedging her bets on this movie, making her some money because she...
Okay, she needs the money.
Yeah. Molly Broke is the new name, apparently. But I mean, yeah, clearly a woman who's going to bounce back. And if this movie's anything to go by, written by Aaron Sorkin, so if you love The Social Network, that movie about Mark Zuckerberg, The West Wing, he did all writing for those kinds of things. So it's that quick fire sort of, you know, unpacking and interrogating the human psyche, what are their drives and whatnot, irrespective of what they're getting into. So yeah, pretty enjoyable on that front.
Okay, so with the big question, how many popcorns?
7.5 out of 10.
Wow, 7.5 from JP Sebastian, that's a lot. That's a lot in my mind.
I'll be less grumpy this year.
Okay, so now I'm even more excited to go see Molly's game. Thank you.
Go do it, yeah.
Okay,
lots of
well,
fun.
you're not going anywhere. JP's with us the whole morning, so don't go anywhere. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. More coming your way, so stay tuned.
Right, Molly's game, eh?
Yeah, it looks good.
Very,
because
very
it's my
cool.
name, Ewan. It's my name.
It's my name. It's my name. No, it's not Molly. It's Katejo, actually. Listen, after the break, lots coming up as well. In your What's Training segment, we're going to introduce you to that man and his surfboard that braved sub-zero temperatures to catch that wave.
Why?
I don't know, but
Just to catch
sub-zero
the wave?
surfing, just to catch a wave. We'll show you what it looks like. It's crazy.
Sounds cool. And then we also got Musli in the house performing for us her latest single, Getting Cash. Can't wait to have her perform here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We'll be right back after this.
Oh, they're really good. I'm about to go get some weight.
Conditions today.
I can't hear you.
How are the conditions today?
Oh, they're really good. I'm about to go get some weight.
Well, you had told me that you wanted me to be your date to the after parties. So I, got us tickets to some after parties. I booked a car, and I was halfway through Glam when you told me that you didn't want to go. You just wanted to come over to my house. So I sent my hair and makeup team home, and now this is what I look like.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
The water-resistant Galaxy S8, made for summer.
All right, welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's a wonderful Thursday morning. Thank you so much for choosing to start the day off with us. I had a Thursday moment. Thursday. Anyway, it's that time of the morning for us to check out what we found on social media that could put a smile on your face as you begin the day. Guys, what do we have?
Or a bit of a shudder as well.
Really?
That as well. Yeah, a shiver.
So we got that.
Because we're speaking about sub-zero surfing this whole morning so far.
Yes.
So we can all agree that Cape Town surfing is pretty much as close as sub-zero. It's cold. It's freezing, man. But there's one guy, he braved sub-zero temperatures to literally catch that wave. I mean, I'm talking frozen beard, beanie. So here we go. Let's check this out.
Okay, let's see.
So hard to picture
So
the
where's
water
this?
being this cold.
I have no idea.
No, man, that's not a big wave.
You can see this.
No, man.
Is that even real?
How are the conditions today?
Oh, they're really good. I'm about to go get some weight.
No, man. No, man. Like, when you said big wave, I was thinking like Hawaii.
No, I said that
10
wave.
foot what?
In freezing water, that wave. But
That's
that is the result.
A frozen beer.
That was not worth it.
But I love it. How's the conditions? That's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I couldn't hear you. Say it again.
And then also catch like the biggest bout of flu I've ever had.
Wow.
Okay, that's great, bro.
Crazy.
That is mad.
Crazy. Well, on a different note, I don't know if this is freezing, but Emma Stone and Jennifer Lawrence, I love the two of them, and the two of them together have a lot of fun. But after the Golden Globes, they've decided they're going to skip the party. But take a listen.
Hey.
What happened tonight?
Well, you had told me that you wanted me to be your date to the after parties. So I, got us tickets to some after parties. I booked a car, and I was halfway through Glam when you told me that you didn't want to go. You just wanted to come over to my house. So I sent my hair and makeup team home. And now this is what I look like.
That's brilliant. Like, I was getting ready, and then you sent me home. Anyway.
I would be so disappointed if I'm like halfway there and my friend bails on me.
Would you be mad at your friend there, or would you have that kind of demeanor?
I would at least tell the makeup artist to finish.
And then like just chill at home with a full face of makeup. Anyway, there we go. Wow. Hopefully that put a smile on your face. But let us know in the meantime which hashtag video or story has caught your attention online, and share your thoughts with us on our Facebook page and on our Twitter profile as well, using hashtag Expresso Show. But right now, it is time for some music. We've been waiting to hear her perform. Musli's in the house.
Now time for a little bit of music and some heartbeats at that. She is gorgeous, one of those people, in fact, that you love to hate because she is talented, she is beautiful, and of course she is about to drop her much anticipated debut mixtape titled Versus. It is Musli. Take it away, girl.
Yo, tape is out right now. Make sure you get it, www.musli.com. Hashtag Musli Versus. Let everybody know I'm on your TV. Let's go. I'm about to get your day started. Make sure you're motivated. Make sure you're ready to get this cash. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Say, hundreds cash, getting cash. Hundreds cash, I'll be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I'll be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I'll be getting some cash. Hundreds cash, count it fast. Hey, you funny Malayam. Hey, hey, call it Malayam. You funny Malayam. Yeah, hey, call it Malayam. Let's go. Hundreds cash, I'll be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I'll be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I'll be getting cash. Hundreds cash, count it fast. Look at all these snitches in my section, yeah. They bad as hell and got all this attention, yeah. I be switching lanes, moving through the game. Look at how we came, look at how we came. Nails done, look where we came from. Started from the bottom, and my story is a brave one. I know there's some problems in Benoni, but I ain't one. Put up for my city, cause the east is where I am. Let's go, let's go, let's go, say star status. Yes, snitch, I'm large at it. We in the same arena, but it's not the same run. I'm on a different speed, look around you differently. Pull up on some different weed, different level, different breed. Hey, young my bro, let's him Ali, I'm me too. Kalas Khabani, you don't want my haters running through. Kalas Milana, and there's nothing that you gonna do. Panda for my sister, and my mama, and my father too. Hundreds cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I be getting cash. Let's go, let's go. 1, 2, 3, everybody say, hey, you funny Malayam. Hey, hey, call it Malayam. Screw, screw. Hey, hey, you funny Malayam. Yeah, hey, call it Malayam. One more time, hundreds cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds cash. I'm getting my loyal taller. I'm coming as corner on top of things was a border. Me and Mali said Jola. My life is amazing. Yeah, destined for greatness. These bitches is hating, and that's just so entertaining. Like, ooh, you ain't gotta like this now. Chef, I saw some magic. Secure the bag. check. Adidas on the line, talking numbers, feeling that. Say you ain't talking money, shut your mouth and die. Say you ain't talking money, shut your mouth and die. Hundreds, cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds, cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds, cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds, cash, count it fast. Give funny Malaya, call it to Malaya. Give funny Malaya, call it to Malaya. Everybody, hundreds, cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds, cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds, cash, I be getting cash. Hundreds, cash, count it fast.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Comes in, she's all sweet and cute, and then boom.
Yes.
Boom. How important is it? This is a very, first of all, congratulations. Very exciting.
Thank you so much.
Time. The mixtape is coming.
It's out, actually.
It's out.
Yes, it's out right now. It's called Verses. It's available on my website, www.musli.com. We actually dropped it on the 13th of October, which was a really crazy, superstitious day for me, but we did it anyway.
Well, clearly it's working, girl.
Yeah,
it
worked really, really well.
I love the fact that you did something novel with the release as well. Being a model, having experience in the industry as a TV presenter, I mean, you know one side of the industry.
Yeah.
What has it been like making the transition? Obviously, you've got a good team around you, but how's that journey been?
You know what? It's been a lot of fun, and I think for me, that's why I wanted to do a mixtape first before an album, because I just wanted to experiment and like go a little bit crazy. Everybody knows me as this well-established television presenter. I have a really strong voice in fashion too, and modeling, as you've just said. But when it comes to music, I'm still the new kid on the block, so it's been a really exciting process for me. I've played around, worked with so many different people, and I'm still enjoying it to this day.
And the production is tight, which
Thank you.
is a must.
Thank you.
Oh, so cool seeing this side of your personality.
This is my favorite side of me.
Oh man, it's going to be a summer anthem, I have a feeling. So stick around, you can let us know on our social media platforms and hers, of course, what you thought of that killer performance. We're going to ask you to stick around for a few more. So proud of you, girl.
Okay, yes, fancy.
Awesome.
Yeah, looking forward to that. More music and more from Musli a bit later on. Well, right now, let's take a look at the latest news headlines.
That's right. Thank you so much, Katlego. Taking off with your national news headlines first. President Jacob Zuma will today hold talks with President Uhuru Kenyatta of the Republic of Kenya at Dr. John Dube residence in Durban. President Kenyatta is on his first working visit to South Africa since his inauguration on 28 November 2017. In a statement, the presidency says the two heads of states will share perspectives on issues including continental and international developments. Then the South African Human Rights Commission has released its latest report on trends, revealing over 9,000 complaints were registered nationally, which is an indication of the public's greater understanding of its role in society. Gauteng, the Western Cape and KwaZulu-Natal have recorded the highest number of complaints, with equality, unfair labour practices, water and social security amongst the most common violations. Spokesperson Gail Smith says the Commission often receives calls from the public for support and information in relation to their human rights. In international news this morning, 13 people have been killed by mudslides in California, but the number is expected to rise as search and rescue efforts continue. Heavy rains unleashed destructive rivers of mud and debris in Southern California earlier this week, destroying homes and spurring rescues as the flooding forced heavily traveled roads to close. Mandatory evacuations had been ordered in parts of Santa Barbara County, but it is believed only 10% to 15% of residents actually heeded the warning. And lastly, Malaysia has signed a deal to pay a US seabed exploration firm up to $50 million if it finds the missing Malaysia Airlines aircraft MH370 in a new search area in the southern Indian Ocean. Malaysian Transport Minister Liao Tiong Lai says a Houston-based private firm would search for MH370 in a 25,000 square kilometer priority area on a no-cure, no-fee basis, meaning it will only get paid if it finds the plane. He adds that the search is expected to be completed within 90 days. That's a wrap of your news headlines for 7 o'clock. I'll bring you another update and final update at 8.
Let's kick it off with football and, of course, locally, a season that really has been turned on its head this year. Bidvest have now moved off the bottom of the PSL table last night as they pulled off a 2-0 win over Supersport United. The result saw Wits claim only their third win of the season, which moved them up to 15th place, while Ajax were knocked down to the foot of the table. The PSL action continues this weekend as high-flying Sundowns clash with Pirates, now sitting 5th on the log. Chiefs tackle Polokwane City, while Cape Town City 2nd on the log. They face off against Free State Stars. Then staying with football, Chelsea and Arsenal could not be separated in the English League Cup last night as they played out to a goalless draw in the first leg of their semi-final clash. Chelsea couldn't find the back of the net despite dominating the game with 21 shots at goal compared to Arsenal's 8. That League Cup finalists, they'll be decided on the 23rd and 24th of January as Man City again face off against Bristol, while Arsenal tackle Chelsea in their second leg ties. Then on to cricket, the Dolphins secured their third win in 4 one-day cup games this season as they beat the Cobras by 3 wickets in par last night. The win keeps the Dolphins in third place on the log with 13 points, while the Cobras are 1 point ahead in second place. Tonight, it's the Highveld Lions returning to action as they travel to East London to take on the Warriors, and that match gets going at 1:30 this afternoon. In exciting times in golf, the year has kicked off officially. The 107th edition of the South African Open gets underway today at the Glendower Golf Club in Johannesburg. The tournament will see South Africa's best golfers coming out to fight for a massive 15 million rand prize purse, and that includes the likes of Brandon Grace, Charles Swartzel, and of course the great Ernie Els. The first round of the 4-day tournament tees off in Johannesburg at 10 a.m. this morning. Go and support some of the best in the business if you can. And that's where we leave our sport for now.
Well, let's take another look at the roads, starting off in Gauteng in Fourways. There's been an accident on the N1 northbound before the William Nicol Drive exit, so you can expect some congestion approaching the scene. Then moving to Midrand on the N1 southbound, there's also been an accident. That's at New Road Interchange, and this is causing delays from Samrand Avenue. That's where we leave your traffic for now. I'll have another update for you just after 8.
Right, let's quickly take another look at your weather and those temperatures, and it looks like South Africa can expect another warm day today, reaching the high 20s, even 30s and even 40s in Cradock today. Very, very hot, so make sure that you stay cool and hydrated, South Africa. Your temperatures, Polokwane on 12 minimum, reaching a mild 24 degrees. Mbombela 14, 24 with a couple of showers expected. Pretoria 14, 27. Johannesburg 14, 28. Mahikeng on 17 with a maximum 30. Klerksdorp on 17, reaching a high of 29 degrees and some thunder showers expected. Kimberley can also expect a couple of thunder showers, 19 minimum this morning, reaching a high of 34. Bloemfontein 16, 30. Richards Bay 18, 28. Pietermaritzburg 13, 28. Durban 20 and a maximum 26. Mthatha starting off on 15 with a maximum 32. East London 21, 28. Cradock 18 and that maximum 40 degrees. Port Elizabeth 21, 28. George 18, 33. Sutherland on 13, maximum 35. Cape Town also a hot day expected, 19, 31. Worcester very, very hot today, 15 with a maximum 41 degrees today. Springbok 16, 35. Uppington 22 and a maximum 39 degrees. Very, very hot temperatures around South Africa. But that's a wrap of your weather for the 7 o'clock bulletin. I'll bring you a final update just after 8.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be quite a nice Thursday all around Mzansi Africa. Now, listen, I don't know if you know this, but one of the biggest producers in the game right now, who has various musical contributions to a lot of our biggest songs of last year, Anati, celebrated his 25th birthday on Monday. So happy belated birthday,
so young.
Anati, and doing great work. So we thought we'd share some of the most interesting facts that you might not know about the hitmaker for this hashtag Throwback Thursday.
I cannot believe he's only 25 years old when you consider what's kind of on his role at the moment.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What you might not know is that he was, he actually went to study at music school, but dropped out after a year. I wonder if they couldn't keep up with him. Might have been the case, man. And he was 16 years old at the time.
Can you believe it? So, I mean, even though he dropped out, he still succeeded and he's making a big name for himself right now. He also changed his name several times. He was once called Thundercat, and then he once called Anati Royale, and now it's just simply Anati.
Anate, and he seems like quite a humble guy as well, which might be a big part of
He's
that
always
success.
praying.
Thanks for putting
He's always
that picture
praying.
right up as I
Always
said that.
praying, Baba.
When he was asked about who he's enjoyed working with the most, he literally rattled off all of the big names we're talking about, and this really is like the heavy hitters: Deleuze, Casper, Ricky Rick, aka. He said each one of them has a completely unique talent set, and he has learned so much from each of them, which is awesome, man.
And it's also a very controversial question to ask somebody in his position.
Yeah,
because you don't want to take
in the hip-hop
sides.
game, who is your favorite hip-hop artist right now?
There we go, there we go. But you've always got to hit, I feel like that's that nutty pose. And
yeah, man.
You have to the side, looking somewhere, just, you know. Anyway, let us know who your favorite South African rapper is. Let us know your thoughts on Expresso Show, using hashtag Expresso Show and also hashtag Throwback Thursday. Who's yours, Graham? Do you have a favorite South African rapper? And you are allowed to say it.
I don't. Are we allowed to?
You don't have to say all of them. No, because...
Okay, no, Questa.
Questa?
Yeah.
For real?
At the moment, yeah. He was just so good on the show last year. It was just
I'm
so
from the old school, Baba. Double HP, Hip Hop Panzola is still the guy, man. He's still the guy.
Man, now you just ruined my career.
Anyway, listen, we're going to take a quick break.
Yeah, then you better get ready to get down as we get up to a little bit of Zumba.
Yeah, and then a pineapple blueberry smoothie, all that deliciousness and more coming your way.
Deleuze, I love you though, Brie, as well. I love you, man.
Bailando como una mostra. Winding it like soca. Dame un besito en mi boca. Dale mami goza, ay que nota. Te ves tan rica en esa ropa. Calientica como una sopa. En la discoteca cantando una ópera. Y oídos loca, ay que nota. Lo mío es limoncito, agua y boca. Me encanta como ustedes se chocan. Gorrita y a tus sapos y las moscas. Ay que nota, dale. Boom, boom. Dale mamacita, boom, boom. All up in the club like boom, boom. Dale mamacita, boom, boom. Que rica, boom, boom. Dale mamacita, boom, boom. All up in the club like boom, boom. Dale mamacita, boom, boom. Que rica. Loca, no te da la monja. Que yo veo que lo tuyo es una bomba. La discoteca está caliente, no hay sombra. Dale, loca.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to it. It is your feel-good breakfast show. It is a Thursday morning. Thursday it's the 11th. It's the 11th. Thursday the 11th of January.
Digits,
I keep having to remind myself just to make sure that I'm on track. You don't lose track of the days.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely. And listen, things are also taking off to a flyer in Las Vegas, which hosts the world's biggest gadget expo in the form of CES 2018. And yesterday, we took a look at some of the awesome gizmos and gadgets that were unveiled. And today, we're looking at some more of them.
Yeah, man, the world is moving in a crazy direction at the moment, and I think we're always looking at new fitness gadgets, maybe always a little bit skeptical when it comes to any kind of gadget or innovation regarding weight loss.
Yeah,
a lot of fake news out there. But a company called Modius, they've taken a very different approach to what's usually on offer. They claim, okay, that the brain is the most powerful tool when it comes to losing kilograms, and they've created a smart headset that sends electrical signals directly to your head. So small electrodes, they're attached to the back of your head, just behind your ears. They send signals directly to the hypothalamus, which is the region of the brain that controls metabolism and hunger. So they're telling the brain they just bypass the body. They claim that the signals can suppress hunger, and they reprogram the body at that point, the source, at the nerves, which is the weight and fat level of your body. Basically, your body is then told, sent different signals to not keep creating fat, to store fat, because your body needs it, which is incredible. And they said that they've got evidence that the technology does work, but I suppose it's still relatively new to the market. I don't know.
Any side effects though? I mean, people, because it's influencing your brain on that level and it's sending impulses, headaches maybe, maybe. You know.
It's the same as fitness that sends, you know, electrodes attached to your muscle to make your muscles flex without your brain actually doing it. I kind of feel the same way about all of these sorts of things. You want your body to be doing it itself. That's got to be the most authentic way. But hey, this could be the answer for a lot of people out
what
there.
What if it could help you study better? Like if it just kind of like made you say, would made your brain go, I'm open
like
now, I'm absorbing all of this.
When you stop concentrating.
Something like that. Anyway, listen, let's talk about a smartphone now that has been unveiled. The world's very first smartphone with a fingerprint detector built into its touchscreen. So simply by touching anywhere on the touchscreen, it'll be able to, you can unlock, obviously operate the phone and do various things like take photos or whatever you've set it to. So really, really cool technology that's coming out. And later on, we'll also update you on more technology coming out of CES 2018. Right now, it's time to shake it a boom boom.
Shake it down.
The shake it a Zumba.
Well, we're not kicking 2018 off. We're going to be shaking it off because Shake It with Cindy. Cindy Abrams with us on your Feel Good Breakfast show. She brought the ladies along and we're about to do some Zumba to kick off your Thursday morning. Cindy, Happy New Year.
And the same to you.
Thank
and the
you.
same to you, South Africa. Happy New Year.
So I just got warned we're going to be shaking it. So if you're at home, get up, join us as we participate in some Zumba.
Yes. We want husbands, wives, omas, opas, everyone.
Kids, everyone. Yes.
So we're going to start with a single, single, double. Single, single, double. Then you use your arms. Last one. Now. Change sides. You said we are shaking it. Back to the beginning. Now. Single, single, up. Walk it up. Arms. This is the part you breathe.
Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop.
Arms.
Never. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop. Never. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop.
Round, thumbs.
Dale mamacita, all up in the club like dale mamacita.
Turn sides.
Dale mamacita, all up in the club.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Listen, there was a disclaimer before we started. I told the cameramans, when we shake it, you focus on Cindy and everyone else. But this was such a fun workout. My word, it works the legs.
Yes, it does, and the abs.
You would never think that, having so much fun.
The trifle.
Get rid of the trifle. Well, listen, Cindy, always so great having you here. How can people get a hold of you on social media?
So, social media, Facebook, Shake It with Cindy. Instagram, Cindy Abrams. Twitter, Shake It with Cindy.
Shake It with Cindy, indeed.
And you'll find all these videos there.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. So go follow her on social media so that you can shake it into shape.
Wow, you can definitely see why it's called Shake It with Cindy. That was mad. That was a great way to start your day, Zoe.
I did leg day on Monday. Yesterday was another leg workout. Look, so that shaking was really
Can I give you a high five? Because I was standing behind the scenes and I was saying to one of the guys, like, can you imagine me in there? It wouldn't go down well, but it's cool. You did well. Well done, Cindy. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
That
Cindy.
is a workout right there. But You know, to bring it back down, you know, to refresh you now for the morning after a lack of workout, a smoothie is heading your way. You're making a delicious blueberry and pineapple smoothie, and it's nice and creamy thanks to our Clover full cream milk as well. So yeah, should we get started? Let's do this.
Well, you know what, this morning on set I was eating half an apple and the guys were trying to convince me, no, you should try pineapple, you should try I think blueberry. So we should actually just have the shake.
So I'll start with a pineapple, okay? So pineapple, of course, very, very good source of vitamin C as well, if I can get everything in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they say literally just here, just a single serving of pineapple like this one is more than 130% of the daily requirement of vitamin C. Oh. So it is very, very good for you. You're making a mess there.
Don't worry, that's my motto.
Blueberries, packed fiber, potassium, folate, vitamin C as well.
I love that these are frozen. We'll add a nice cooler and slushy element to our smoothie.
And then I'm going to just add a few cubes of ice, all right? You can also freeze your ingredients. I don't want to make it too much. Okay. It's got a hint of vanilla, all right? And some coconut sugar as well, some healthy coconut sugar for a touch of sweetness and a bit of coconutiness. And if you want to just pour a dash of milk in there, yeah, not too much.
Clover fresh.
Perfect.
Milk.
Once again, some good calcium in there.
Is that enough?
Great freshness as well. That should be perfect.
There we go.
All right, and the keyword is drink. SMS that to 33728. That's drink to 33728. Let's quickly blast this guy up here. Look at that. Quick, easy.
Very nice. Well, listen, our keyword for you this morning is drink. SMS that to 33728. You can have the link of the recipe and ingredients sent straight to your phone. Let's give that a go.
All right. And look at that, the blueberries giving it a nice little color. You're going to get
color.
the twang of the pineapple.
We have to cheers it out before I try it.
Of course we have to cheers this one out.
There we go.
Cheers, let's give it a try.
Cheers.
Yes, yes, that's a good smoothie. Drink is the keyword, SMS that to 33728, and start your day in a lekker fresh way.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Now, joining us in studio on this Thursday morning, this beautifully sunny Thursday for that matter, we have probably one of the most inspirational stories of 2017. We'd love to welcome into the studio Clint and Steffi Brink. Welcome to the studio. Happy New Year, guys. It's great to have both of you here. And before we even go anywhere and start this interview, I just want to mention the couple goals that is happening here in the shoe game. Please tell me about this.
Hey, well, you know, birds of a feather flock together, happy wife, happy life, etc., etc.
You can see, just keep on throwing those punchlines out there, man. But like I said in the beginning, an inspirational story of your transition in health, lifestyle, and what you've been doing. And I want to just tap into that a little bit. And tell me about that transformation that I think stunned a lot of people. What it took to get to the incredible transformation that you are at right now.
Well, I must say on a physical level, you know, I've always, when it came to sport, I was always doing things for efficiency, I would say, you know. I mean,
let's quickly take a look at January 2017. Yeah. That's April. That is like 4 months later.
Yeah, that took me, we were training twice a day, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week.
And obviously the diet.
The diet was pretty strict.
Yeah, yeah. So it's true what they say, 80% diet, 20% training?
It's all diet. It's all diet. You know, what you put in the tank is what's going to reflect when you stand on stage or what you look like, you know.
Dude,
so let's not talk. I've seen you as well. I've seen you in the gym putting in the hours, you know, getting all lean and ripped and stuff like that.
This is about you, dog. But from a couple's point of view, because both of you are in an industry where looking good does matter. It does necessarily at some point fetch a higher price for what you do over and above your skill set as well. How did you manage to support each other in this endeavor to be a healthy lifestyle couple?
Well, for me, it was pretty simple, you know. This is my person. This is the person I love the most. She supports me in everything that I do. I look up to her as an athlete, you know. Her credentials and accreditation speaks for itself.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, trying to impress her on the one end by doing good is also, you know, solid motivation. But, yeah, we prep the food together. We put in the hours together.
Yeah, and what about you, Steve? I mean, yeah, you guys do this together. How do you draw inspiration from what the two of you do together? They say that couples that train together stay together.
Yeah, the thing is, I come from a functional background, and he introduced me to this aesthetics, which means, you know, the bodybuilding life.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, combining the two, it's amazing, and doing it with him, yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Has it changed the way that you approach life and your careers? Because, I mean, this takes an incredible amount of dedication and focus to be in this kind of space. Has it changed the way that you approach your lives in terms of career?
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
It's an additive for sure. You know, if you even have to take a look at the governor of California, you know, that man kind of like showed it. From a bodybuilder, an Austrian bodybuilder, to being the governor of one of the biggest states in the States, you know. He kind of like laid down the foundation, and it's principle over feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's putting in, it's working hard, it's doing what needs to be done so you can get the result at the end of the day. And success is no longer a gamble, you know, it's kind of like a guarantee.
Wow. Okay, well, I can't wait to tap more into your knowledge, and especially about how we can just motivate everyone else out there to, you know, stick to the goals that they've made for themselves and hopefully come out 4 months from now looking the way that you did in that transformation. So stick around, and if you have any questions for our lovely couple, do share them with us on Facebook, Expresso Morning Show SABC3. That's our Facebook page, and on Twitter @Expresso Show.
So we are heading into awards season, offering a good indication of who's going to win what, the Critics' Choice Awards. We're going to delve into some of those nominees after the break.
Yeah, man, and it's a brand new year, 2018, and of course, food trends are at the top of the cards as well. We're talking about the top pastry trends going into this year. Angie Boyd will run us through. It should be quite an interesting year, I'm sure. All right, we'll take a look at that after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show on this Thursday. Now, while other shows give out awards based on votes by insiders like the Oscars or the Emmys and the SAG Awards, the Critics' Choice Awards are decided by the people whose full-time job is to see and evaluate as many movies as possible each year. What a great job that is. And with that said, here's a roundup of what the critics have chosen from the annual event taking place tonight.
I feel like that's something JP Sebastian would be really good at.
Yeah. He invests a lot of time in watching movies, a lot of popcorn eaten.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is an award show without an amazing host? And this year, Olivia Munn will be hosting the awards. Not only is she one of the hottest film stars around, but she's also hosted and slayed on Saturday Night Live. And we're also sure she's going to be doing an amazing job at the Critics' Choice Awards.
Once you've done SNL, I feel like that puts you way, way up there, and you are ready to host pretty much anything.
And she's got that dry sense of humor, so she'll do really, really well.
Yeah, from Newsroom as well. I loved her there. But anyway, Olivia isn't the only woman that'll have a big role on the night. Wonder Woman herself, Gail Gadot, is this year's recipient of the #SeeHer Award, which recognizes women who push boundaries and recognize the importance of accurately portraying women across the entertainment landscape. So congratulations to her for that. Now, as for the nominations, when it comes to films, The Shape of Water once again won big at the Golden Globes, and it leads the pack with a whopping 14 nominations, which include Best Picture, Best Actress, and Best Director.
Oh, very interesting. And as far as Best Animation goes, Best Animated Feature is also hotly contested between Coco,
I want to watch this. I need
Lego
to watch
Ninjago,
this.
as well as the fan favorite Despicable Me 3.
Graham was was like, yeah, I think he's seen Lego Ninjago and he really enjoyed it. Now, when it comes to the comedies, the ladies certainly weren't left behind, as I, Tonya, and The Girls Trip all earned nominations alongside films like The Disaster Artist and The Big Sick.
Oh, very, very interesting. And then for Best Action, the nominees is Baby Driver, Logan, Thor Ragnarok, we have War of the Planet of the Apes, and Wonder Woman.
Wow!
So, a tough category in my eyes.
Wow! Baby Driver was really good, but I don't know if it can stand up to
Ragnarok.
No, not to Ragnarok, to War
Wonder
of the
Woman.
Planet of the Apes.
See,
For me,
it's
that
a
was...
tough one.
we would not be agreeing on that panel. Now, as for the small screen, this year's crop of contenders features a nice mix of new shows like American Gods, The Handmaid's Tale, Glow, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and Patriot, facing off against each other in returning favorites like Game of Thrones, of course, Big Bang Theory, Blackish, and Modern Family also in the mix there. And of course, TV is incomplete without talk shows. And this year sees the Ellen DeGeneres Show, Jimmy Kimmel Live, The Late Show with James Corden, and The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon all face off. And with all of these hosts, I mean, these guys are all brilliant in their own right. Any one of them could win.
I know, and I was actually thinking, can't they all just get an award?
Yeah, like you need to have
some
categories of the categories.
Yes.
But who would win in terms of the talk show hosts for you? So you got Jimmy,
When I
Ellen.
saw the categories, I thought of Ellen.
Yeah.
I think Ellen is definitely up there. They all are, but I think
love Ellen, but Jimmy Fallon's good, man. Jimmy Fallon's good. Yeah, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see. There's hotly contested categories everywhere featuring the biggest stars, and this year's Critics' Choice Awards is certainly going to be one for the books. We'll bring you all of those winners' names tomorrow.
Where's our boy, man? Where's Trev? Where's Trevor in the mix, man? Definitely a Jimmy Fallon man myself. So I think a lot of us out there, certainly young people, dream of seeing the bright lights, seeing their name in bright lights, becoming famous, but very few people have the talent and the drive to match. Well, one young lady who certainly has double doses of both is making a name for herself, mainly because she has the most unbelievable voice and drive to match. Take a look.
A ball of butter, don't bring around the clouds or rain on my parade. Don't tell me not to fly.
Despite her young age, high school learner Marianti Panas has won over 40 medals in vocal competitions and performed alongside some of South Africa's finest musicians.
When I was very little, I used to sing at preschool and I used to sing in the choir at school, and then I had my first solo when I was in grade 1 at our Christmas show. Just from then I knew that I wanted to sing. Performing with the KZN Orchestra was the very first time I think that I had sung with an orchestra. It was surreal, it really was, because having all those instruments behind you, it just makes it more alive and it gives more of like a adrenaline rush.
Marianti since performed at business awards ceremonies, corporate events, and made her professional theatre debut, starring in the hit musical Supreme Divas.
One of my biggest highlights was when I recently performed in the Supreme Divas showcase, and that was a huge step for me. I was only 15 and I performed amongst the biggest names in this industry, and it was very, very scary because I had such an expectation to live up to, me being the youngest out of all of those women, and they are incredible. And working amongst all the musical directors and the director, it was unbelievable.
I started teaching Marianti when she was 9 years old. She's now 16, so it's a good 7 years. I mean, right from the beginning, I realized this child's got great potential and has got a voice that's, well, I soon realized it grows quickly, and slowly but surely it's just all increased, it's just all grown. So she's really grown, not just vocally, but, you know, as a performer and a drive. She's determined to do it. For musical theatre, you know, you would require a good voice, but you also require an acting ability. And Marianti does do acting training, and she also dances. And I think the combination of being kind of a triple threat here has placed her in a very advantageous position, and therefore I believe she's got a great future.
In between school, training, performances and traveling, the talented vocalist also fulfilled another dream, writing and recording an original song.
Last year I recorded a cover album and it's me singing all my favorite musical theatre songs. Also on that CD was my single Here I Am, which I co-wrote with John Ellis from 363. It's literally my life, about people saying you can't do it but you want to, the rejection, but then finally here I am, I'm here, I'm going to perform for you, I'm going to do what I love. I met Richard Sturton, who was the winner of The Voice Season 1, and he said to me, never think you're good enough. That is something that I will always live by for the rest of my life. And there's always someone better than you in this industry, in the world, there's always someone better. So that keeps me grounded in a way, because I don't want to think I'm too big for my boots or anything like that. And also just having my family and my friends, they're very supportive, so I just have a nice supportive structure.
Could this young lady grow into the next Liza Minnelli or Celine Dion? Either way, watch out world, here comes Marianti Panas.
Absolutely brilliant, the talent we have here in South Africa. Right now, though, returning to your breakfast show right here in the kitchen. Now, yesterday we spoke about food trends from 2017 and what we can expect for 2018 on the Culinary Hotline, but we never got a chance to chat about the pastry industry and what is happening within pastry and going into 2018. So Angie Boyd is here. She's going to give us a bit of a rundown as to what she foresees from her little magic crystal ball. How are you doing, Angie?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. So pastry. You've made the most incredible things for us on the show before. You're super, super talented. So I think you're the perfect one to answer all of these kind of pastry-related kind of trend questions. So firstly, I think, classic pastries, are they kind of make a comeback come 2018?
I hope so. I like classic pastries. That's my thing. But what I have noticed is donuts are a massive thing at the moment, but really sort of interesting donuts. You've got your hybrids, donut croissant thing, you know, the cronuts.
The cronuts,
That is a bit old school, but old school now. But
it feels so new to me. If I walk into a place and they've got cronuts.
And but they're calling them different things now. So everyone's got their own version of how they say it. But it's just it's a hybrid donut.
Yeah.
And that you can use different doughs as well. But what they're doing is they're filling them now, but with interesting dessert concoctions. So think Black Forest donut.
Oh, wow.
So you'll have your cream and your chocolate and your cherries, or sort of like a peppermint crisp donut, where you've got your peppermint crisp and your caramel and your salted caramels and your ganache and whatever. And then toppings, fillings, all of that, and making them into interesting shapes. And what I quite like is the small ones. So they've got little donuts. Okay. For me, because it's a treat then, and it's a little bit over the top, but it's a nice treat. You don't have them too often, so it's not too bad for you.
Okay.
So donuts, then the other thing that's still quite big is eclairs, which I love, but they're really taking them to the next level. You must see some of the stuff out there.
Really?
If you go onto Instagram and what have you. In fact, I was lucky enough a couple of years back to go in London to go to a place called Pastry, which has the most unbelievable eclairs I have ever seen in my life. They are like works of art, with all these beautiful things on top. You know, they're decorating the tops and the insides with fantastic flavors and what have you.
Okay.
So that's quite a nice one for me.
What was this place name that you went to?
Pastry.
Pastry. Does it have to do with choux pastry?
It's only choux
you
pastry.
See now.
That's all they do. They only make.
That's the only link I could make.
Yeah, well, eclairs are made with choux pastry.
That's it.
So the only thing they do is eclairs. It's unbelievable.
Wow. Okay, so the classics are coming back, but they're being kind of refitted.
Exactly, and really jazzed up, made to look fantastic, special, like little works of art.
Yeah. Now I need to ask you this, because everything that you've described, and I do hope that you're going to be making some of those creations and those interesting classic trends on the show for us. A lot of people obviously taking that health trend. We've seen more and more a drive towards people wanting to eat more healthily and be more healthily. But we also want to still enjoy our desserts. So what's going to be happening in the pastry industry? Maybe are they linking on to that kind of health?
Definitely. I mean,
factor?
There's a huge drive with gluten-free. And using alternative flour, so not just your wheat flour, but using tapioca, rice, all sorts of other things. So that's coming into the desserts, and then also dropping the sugar, because people do have a bit of an issue with the sugars. So bringing in honey, stevia, coconut sugar, sort of alternative sugars, and also using less sugar.
Okay.
So gluten-free sugar, well, lower sugar, because you can't leave the sugar out, otherwise it's not a dessert, right?
Exactly.
And I think also what's quite nice is making them smaller. So there's a lot of small desserts dessert plates, which is quite nice.
Okay, so really just focusing on...
So instead of having the whole enormous thing, you just have...
But it is going to be interesting. You know, just veering off a little bit from pastry, of course, also where pastry is included, ice creams are also very, very big. The freak shakes that we've made, the kind of ice cream sandwiches, is that going to be continuing into 2018?
I kind of hope not the freak shakes. I find that a little bit revolting.
I must say, I went through this trend and I never even had a freak shake.
Yeah, me either. So, it's just too much, I think. Look, artisanal ice cream is fantastic. And in Cape Town, we've got lots of beautiful ice cream shops that are making homemade artisanal ice cream from scratch, but using interesting flavors. So your gourmet flavors, using caramelized white chocolate, and you're even going with the savory flavors, things like beetroot and ginger, or rosemary and basil. Which I think is quite interesting. And soft serves are going to, I think, make a comeback as well.
Okay, the good old
gourmet
soft
serves.
Obviously.
I think like lemon meringue pie soft serve.
Wow.
And adding textures into the ice cream as well, so that it's like a little mini dessert.
So not the one you're going to find at the Combi by the beach.
No,
not that one. Angie, thank you very much for running us through some of those trends. Cool. I'm looking forward to really making some of those creations. And come on, the shoe pastry, I still need to get my skill on that one. So I'm going to be calling on you. So there you have it, some very, very interesting trends to look out for in terms of pastry and also ice cream going into 2018.
So, I obviously love to film The Commuter, but that might have had something to do with the fact that I got to meet Liam Neeson and meet the star. So I'm really interested to find out how many popcorns JP Sebastian's going to give the action thriller. We'll find out after the break.
All right, looking forward to that. And also speaking to, I think, according to our books, Couple of the Year 2017, Clint and Steffi Brink. They're going to be giving us some advice.
Do you feel the need to flex when they're in studio?
I mean, like, Clint has put some pressure on. Okay.
Furniture designer and interiors expert Liam Mooney's apartment.
Hi, Liam.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuned into your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, right on SABC3. It's a glorious Thursday. It's nice and
glorious Thursday.
Just like that, yes. International entertainment news. That's on the menu.
Is it glorious?
Is it glorious?
Some of it certainly is. The first story is indeed. Just days after celebrating her 36th birthday, the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, has stepped out to make her first royal appearance of 2018. And there she is, looking absolutely ever so lovely.
Hello.
Kate, who is, of course, very pregnant right now with the third child, put her baby bump on display in a floral dress while visiting an academy that supports children, families, and the whole school community throughout their career. So sources say that the Duchess was in great spirits as she mingled and played with the students and even got her hands dirty helping them with art projects.
Oh man, there was a little boy there, you could see he was just so chuffed.
Skills that have clearly, I think, been learned from raising George and the brood.
Yeah, man.
It's safe to say that Meghan Markle has a great future sister-in-law to get some tips from, should anything happen. Yeah. Who, by the way, apparently has been reported...
Off social media?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't know why.
Apparently it's a royal law.
I was going to say, by royal decree.
They can't be on, none of them are on social media. They have an official
They have a squire. They have a social media squire that handles it.
Who's that?
Kensington Palace, there we go, sorry, that's the account.
Hark.
Okay.
They use Hark, not tweet, Hark.
In other more important news right now, this gentleman here finds himself in a bit of scandalous hot water. Yeah, we move on over to Hollywood now, where more sexual harassment allegations are making headlines. And this time around, James Franco is at the center of these claims that are being made by several women. Now, not only that, but James, who won the Best Actor at the Golden Globes earlier this week, is also being criticized for wearing a #TimesUp pin in solidarity with the movement against sexual harassment and for gender equality. Meanwhile, another Hollywood leading man, Michael Douglas, has spoken out to deny a claim of improper sexual conduct before it has even been made public, saying that he felt the need to get ahead of the situation and to share his concerns before a story was published. Now, James and Michael are the latest implicated in serious claims of sexual harassment following similar cases involving Kevin Spacey and Harvey Weinstein that, of course, rocked Hollywood since last year. So it seems this is what's happening.
It's difficult because there is an emotional investment in these actors. You love them as well, so it's a very difficult thing, but I think we wait until those claims are published. Yeah. Well, shocking stuff.
Told you the stories today. One good, one not so good at all. But that's the latest entertainment news we have for you on the international front. Zoe, what's up?
Well, listen, don't miss Top Billing tonight as they feature the wedding of renowned chef Jackie Cameron, and Jade meets up with musician Jack Parrow. That all takes place on Top Billing tonight at 8:30 p.m.
This Thursday on Top Billing, we peek inside furniture designer and interiors expert Liam Mooney's apartment.
Hi, Liam.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Come on in.
It's so good to be here.
You're welcome.
When most people think of apartment living, they think of small, tight spaces, but this is nothing like that.
Jeannie laps up a 5-star escape at a family-run boutique winery turned guest villa.
Join me on Top Billing as I experience a luxurious getaway at the homestead on Oldenburg Vineyards near Stellenbosch. As you can see, I'm spoiled with stunning views, a glass of wine in hand, and the fire is already burning. If this isn't the good life, I don't know what is.
We're also celebrating the very best of Southern, Eastern, and all African fashion design.
In just a few moments, national and international fashion designers are going to be showcasing their latest fashion designs right here on this stage. It is the Mozambique Fashion Week, and we are here, of course, to bring you front row seats.
We're invited to celebrity chef Jackie Cameron's wedding. And as it turns out, the one thing she's not in charge of is the menu.
What makes this extra special is that I have all my students from this year that are cooking all the food. I do not have a chef in the kitchen. They are doing it. And I know they're going to do everything by the standard of which I've trained and taught them.
We hang out with rapper Jack Parrow, who's just launched a new album, Africa for Beginners.
So Jack Parrow, what are we doing on Top Billing this Thursday?
Surfing, braaiing, and talking nonsense.
Sounds like a pretty good day. Tune in this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. on SABC3. The stage is yours.
Don't miss Top Billing this Thursday, but there's always a repeat on Sunday at 1.
Oh man, everyone living their best life. Now, this weekend, as we turn our attention to the cinema, Liam Neeson must use his very particular set of skills to rescue his loved ones from criminal forces. No, it's not the 20 other movies you're thinking of. Today, we are talking about The Commuter, the director of Unknown, starring Liam Neeson, Run All Night, starring Liam Neeson, and Non-Stop, starring Liam Neeson. He has him hunting, this time, a mystery train passenger for mystery kidnappers for mysterious reasons. Here's a mysterious sneak peek.
Why are you going to Cold Spring?
That's none of your business.
What's in the bag?
My God, what is with you people and my bag? Jeez. Hey, what are you doing? Let go of me.
I'm trying to help.
Seriously, come on, do something.
Who is that?
What's your problem?
Mike, you gotta let the lady go. You don't get it, do you? She wants you dead. You witnessed a murder. You have something that she wants. Something she's willing to kill for.
Okay, Mike, you gotta let her go, Mike. Let the lady go. Mike.
Hand me the phone.
Mike, come on.
Back. Don't move. Stay in your seats. Please, hand me the phone.
It's not what you think. It's not what you think. You thought that it was. JP Sebastian, again, I'm going to say great to connect with you again in the new year, dude. I have to kind of take this with a pinch of salt because I obviously got to meet the actors and meet Liam, so I was like, the best film on earth. I want to watch it another 10 times. But the Khamed, the director, he's a master of creating this kind of physical feel. And when you're on a train, when this thriller is taking place in this tiny little environment, you need that kind of physical.
Kinetic.
Yeah. And it really did come across for me. And I like the Liam Neeson character. What did you make of this incantation of Liam?
That whole blurb was just, don't say bad things,
yeah,
JP.
please,
Like,
man, all right,
I'm
when you
striking distance. First thing I'd say is I hope that the next mysterious phone call Liam Neeson gets is from a social worker to just say, the family, just like, how do you just keep misplacing them? We're intervening. Despite all those skills,
you don't deserve.
Have lost like how many 7 children by now. Anyway, so the story is, like you said, he's given this sort of thought experiment by. Oh, we got a little bug friend visiting us. For atmosphere, no doubt. So he's given a thought experiment by a random passenger.
Mysterious person. Yeah.
Yes. If you find person X, who I cannot give you a description of, I just know they have a bag and they're going to the same place as you before the time is up, using your skills this time as, I think he's an insurance claims detective sort of thing. Then there's money in it for you. Don't worry about what happens to the person. The implication is not on your head. Just put yourself to work, find out who it is, and then give us the info, and we'll deal with the person in our way. You don't know anything else. So it's like a really, a totally improbable story, obviously. Like, it's just a gimmick. It's a little mechanic, but that doesn't necessarily make the movie, like a total.
I think what I love about the fact is with this Liam, it's not necessarily a Liam that comes out swinging. He's a bit of a broken man. He's a bit of an anti-hero in this sense, and he's got to find his way.
Thank you. That's a good point. I've got to lay out that he just lost his job that day, so money's looking good right now. He's been replaced by the newer generation kind of thing. And so interesting, the story, as well as being this really, like you said, this kinetic, action-packed thing, one of the really great things that he does, and I'm sure you'll agree, is how do you find all these small spaces on a train? How do you, like Murder on the Orient Express, like, third class kind of thing, but like first class travel is like how to know you can put a camera there, you can move it here, like giving an action sequence space in a cabin that's the size of like a beetle.
Yeah, completely, and they're all shot in one train car.
It's like a roller coaster in,
And that's one thing I would say is that you really do feel the inertia of it, and there's lots of action. How many popcorns, though, does the Commuter get? Just take me out of the equation, dude.
So surprised, for an iteration of the same thing over and over, and despite the fact that Graham loves it, it was a 7.5 out of 10. For something that feels like a carbon copy of every other movie that Liam Neeson's like.
I'll bank 7.5 popcorns to the Commuter breaking in our local cinemas tomorrow, and you can stand by for that interview with Liam on tomorrow's show.
Going Graham.
All right. Check out this setting outside on this Thursday morning, hanging out with Clint Brink and his wonderful wife, Steffi. We're talking about life and all things good, and just how amazingly privileged we are to live in this beautiful country.
All things good, brother.
Right?
Look at this. It's beautiful.
Speaking of living in this beautiful country, Steffi, what's life been like for you since moving down to South Africa from Namibia, and how have you found yourself in South Africa?
Well, obviously Namibia's population is way smaller than South Africa, so that was, you just see people everywhere.
Yeah, it's like
Joburg.
a vast expanse of land with like towns here and there, cities here and there,
Exactly.
Right?
So coming from that, the landscape is different, but it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, every place has its distinctive, qualities that set it apart. Yeah.
And both of you are very busy people, got your own careers going. What does 2018 have in store for you?
Sure. On the one,
started off like that.
On the one end, bigger and better.
Yeah.
But on the other end, also, a lot more simplified.
Okay.
Small and concise.
Getting rid of the clutter, refining what we're doing a little bit more. Investing in the quality things. Our priorities, obviously our goals, and I think everyone has like career and stuff goals. But for us, more working on you know, quality of life stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very important place to be in. Is it difficult, or was it difficult for you guys to find that? Because there's a certain natural bond that I think we can all see that is, I think, very genuine when it comes to the two of you. And is it a difficult thing and a place to get to where life revolves around really the genuine and important stuff?
Hey, I think, you know, it's a process.
Yeah?
It's an individual process, and I think people have to sit down and reassess what's really important to them, you know? If it's having the big car and the big house and all of the other things that kind of like control your life and stresses you out, is it really worth it, you know? And for me,
my thing is health is wealth. So
yeah,
it's for me, if you can be healthy and fit.
And especially over the December period, you know, you can't really have like a liver transplant. That thing is it's a bit difficult.
How was your December festive period? Because I mean, it is a time for celebration, time for linking up with old friends, new friends. What did you guys do over the December period?
Should I tell him?
Please tell me.
Okay. When I left Joburg, I weighed I think 87.5. I weighed myself 2 days ago, and I'm almost 91. So the festive's been good, bro. You know, the bulk is on the way. But amidst that, you know, spending quality time with our family. Yeah.
Yeah. And then finally, I think a lot of people are asking themselves out there, are you considering expanding the family in 2018? There seems to be something in the water.
Apparently, I've heard that there's, you know, things in the water. That's why, you know, I hydrate. We hydrate.
All right, they're hydrating. They're hydrating. That's good news. That's good news. We might have some even better news later on. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a wonderful pleasure. Have a fantastic 2018. We can't wait to hear more wonderful things coming from you guys later on. Well, stay tuned to your Feel Good Breakfast show. We'll be right back after this break. Stay hydrated.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso on SABC3. Happy Thursday to you if nobody said it to you yet. And right now, you tune in right on time to hear some music from our guest artist, Musli.
We are loving having this young superstar in studio. Of course, we know her well as a TV presenter and as a model. We are starting to discover a very different, very hardcore side to this incredible young starlet. Here is Musli performing Ride or Die.
Hey, we're gonna slow it down one time and do something real special for all the lovers in the place to be. For all the lovers in the place to be. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I remember the day that you came by my way, and you was for my name. Since then, nothing's the same.
Nothing's the same without my ride or die shawty. Don't feel the same without my ride or die shawty. Nothing's the same without my ride or die shawty. You're grinding on me, I'm just feeling your body.
Since day one, you've been there when nobody cared. Like fresh Adidas out the box, we the perfect pair. Look hard, hustle harder, that's the vision shade. And it worked out cause man, we really made. Yeah. And I love you cause you be going real hard on them. When they try to treat me like one of them basic. Tell them for me you gon' ride till the day you die. It's you and I like do or die, I do not lie. And I be all up in my feelings when you're out of sight. Yeah, I be all up in my feelings when you're out of town. I just gotta smoke a, roll another one, drink a little wine, wait on you till the sun is up. My baby, hey, my baby, my baby, hey, my baby, my baby, hey, my baby. Everybody, 1, 2, 3, let's go. I remember the day that you came by my way and you asked for my name. Since then, nothing's the same.
Nothing's the same without my ride or die shawty. Don't feel the same without my ride or die shawty. Nothing's the same without my ride or die shawty. You're grinding on me, I'm just feeling your body.
Hey, listen to me one time. You and I were meant to be, so I will never let go. It is plain to see we were meant to be, so I will never let go. You're my baby, you know that you drive me crazy. Nothing about our love is shady. I'm so proud to be your lady, yeah.
You're my baby, you know that you drive me crazy. Nothing about our love is shady. I'm so glad that you're my lady. Whoa.
Just a sexy slow jam, hey. For all the lovers in the place to be. Thank you for rocking with me. Ay.
Dare I even ask who that song is about? Is it for every couple out there? Or is there someone in particular you wrote?
I mean, I've got my own ride or die, but I think everybody can relate to a love story, you know? Everybody has that one person in their life, whether it's a lover, a friend, your mother, your cousin, your brother, that rides for you real hard, and that's exactly who that song was for.
You'll go to the trenches for that person. I love that. There is something really hardcore about your music, and I'm beginning to understand why you need to make such a statement with your debut mixtape. It's so cool to have you here. We're going to keep you around for one more performance.
Okay.
Just because you are too gorgeous.
Just one more.
Just too gorgeous to deny our viewers. But you can, of course, let us know on all of our social media platforms what you thought about that and her first performance. We've got Musli here in studio on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Oh, awesome. Took the roof off.
Well, we definitely all enjoyed that and hope you did so too. Right now, it is time for us to take a look at the news headlines at the top of the hour.
That's right, thank you. It's 8 o'clock. Kom ons kyk vandag na jou nuushooftrekke op jou donderdagoggend. In die nasionale nuus, president Jacob Zuma voer vandag in Durban samesprekings met president Uhuru Kenyatta van Kenia. Dit is Kenyatta se eerste werksbesoek aan Suid-Afrika sedert sy inhuldiging op 28 November verlede jaar. In 'n verklaring sê die presidentsie dat die twee staatshoofde sake rakende Afrika sowel as internasionale sake sal bespreek. Dan die Suid-Afrikaanse Menseregte Kommissie het in sy jongste verslag bekend gemaak dat meer as 9000 klagtes nasionaal geregistreer is. Die meeste is in Gauteng, die Wes-Kaap en KwaZulu-Natal opgeteken. Die mees algemene oortredings handel oor gelykheid, onbillike arbeidspraktyke, water en maatskaplike sekerheid. Woordvoerder Gail Smith sê die kommissie ontvang dikwels oproepe van die publiek vir ondersteuning en inligting met betrekking tot hulle menseregte. In die internasionale nuus vanoggend, 13 mense het as gevolg van modderstortings in Kalifornië omgekom, maar die getal sal na verwagting styg na mate soek- en reddingspogings voortduur. Swaar reën in Suid-Kalifornië vroeër die week het veroorsaak dat riviere in 'n modderstrome omskep is, wat huise platgevee en hoofpadroetes laat sluit het. Hoewel inwoners in dele van Santa Barbara amptelik verplig is om te ontruim, het slegs 10 tot 15% van die inwoners op die waarskuwing aggeslaan. En tenslotte, Maleisië het 'n ooreenkoms van $50 miljoen met 'n Amerikaanse seebodem-eksplorasie-onderneming aangegaan om die soektog na die vermiste Maleisiese lugdiensvliegtuig MH370 voort te sit. Die nuwe soektog in die suidelike Indiese Oseaan sal na verwagting 90 dae duur. Maleisië se minister van vervoer, Leo Tiong Lai, sê die privaat onderneming van Houston, Texas, wat die 25.000 vierkante kilometer gaan fynkam, sal net vergoed word as hulle die vliegtuig vind. En daarmee jou nuushooftrekke op jou donderdagoggend op jou Goedvoel ontbytprogram.
We return with the PSL that really has been turned on its head this season. Bidvest Wits, they've moved now off the bottom of the PSL table. That happened last night as they pulled off a 2-0 win over SuperSport United. So the result sees Wits claim only their third win of the season, but it does move them up to 15th place on the log as Ajax were knocked down to the foot of the table. That PSL action continues this weekend as high-flying Sundowns, they clash with Pirates. Chiefs tackle Polokwane City, while Cape Town City, currently second on the log, they face Free State Stars. Then a little further afield in football, Chelsea and Arsenal could not be separated in the English League Cup last night as they played out to a goalless draw in the first leg of their semi-final clash. Chelsea couldn't find the back of the net despite dominating the game with 21 shots on goal compared to Arsenal's 8. The League Cup finalists will be decided now on the 23rd and 24th of this month as Man City face off again against Bristol and Arsenal, of course, tackle Chelsea in the second leg tie. Now, moving on to cricket, the Dolphins secured their third win in 4 one-day cup appearances this season as they beat the Cobras by 3 wickets in par last night. The win keeps the Dolphins in third place on the log with 13 points, while the Cobras, they are just 1 point ahead in second place. Tonight, we've got the Highveld Lions returning to action as they travel to East London to take on the Warriors. That match gets going at 1:30 this afternoon. Then the golfing year has officially started for South Africa. The 107th edition of the South African Open gets underway today at the iconic Glendower Golf Club in Johannesburg. So the tournament will see South Africa's best golfers coming out to fight for an incredible 15 million rand prize purse. That includes the likes of Brendan Grace, Charles Schwartzel, and of course the great Ernie Els. The first round of the 4-day tournament tees off in Johannesburg at 10 a.m. this morning. Go out and support some of the best in the business. That's a wrap of your sport for today.
Well, let's take one final look at the road, starting off in Gauteng and Edenvale. On the N3 northbound, there's slow-moving traffic. That's between Gululi's Interchange and Modderfontein Road exit. And when in the Western Cape in Bellville, on the N1 inbound, traffic is queuing. That's heading towards Durban Road exit. That's where we leave your traffic on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Right, let's quickly take a last look at your weather. It's a beautiful day in the mother city, but all across South Africa you can expect warm temperatures well into the high 30s and even 40s for some areas, so make sure that you stay cool and hydrated, South Africa. Jou temperature op Polokwane 12 grade minimum en 'n matige 24 later, Mbombela 14-24, Pretoria 14-27, Johannesburg begin op 14 en styg na 28 grade, Mahikeng 17-30, Klerksdorp 17-29, Kimberley 19-34, Bloemfontein begin op 16 en styg na maksimum 30. Richards Bay 18-28. Pietermaritzburg 13-28. Durban 20-26. Mthatha starting off on 15 minimum with a maximum at 32 degrees. East London 21-28. Cradock 18, very hot, 40 degrees today. Port Elizabeth 21 with a maximum 28. George 18-33. Sutherland 13-35. Also nice and hot day for Cape Town at 19-31. Worcester 15-41 today, scorching hot. Springbok 16-35 and also very, very hot for Uppington today, starting off on 22 minimum with a maximum of 39 degrees. That's a wrap of your weather and temperatures on your Feel Good Breakfast Show for your Thursday morning.
All right, a quick look at social media right now. Hashtag Thursday Thoughts, one of the trends. And Akash's Thursday Thought is this. I'm selfish because I came to a realization that in order to help and better the people around me, I have to take care of myself first. Well, how about that? Put that into your thoughts. M. Bakas, he says, happy Thursday. You're only 1 day away from being 2 days away from doing the same work you're doing right now. How does that feature in your mind? Let that go. Someone else says here, sometimes you try so hard to take care of everyone else that you forget to take care of yourself. So it seems like everyone is focusing on themselves, preserving themselves and bettering themselves for the year ahead. Well, share your Thursday thoughts with us on social media, on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page, using hashtag Expresso Show.
Yep, thank you so much for connecting with us, and stick around because we're going to have a bit of fun. It's back into the wild, my first Into the Wild segment for a brand new year, and we're talking exotic pets and responsible pet ownership.
That's right. Well, we actually have a baby hedgehog on set, so you do not want to miss out on that. And speaking of animals, yoga also takes a very interesting adaptation, if you can put it that way. And we're going to investigate what animal flow yoga is all about.
Wow.
So stick around to your Feel Good Breakfast show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in for what has been a stellar Thursday morning. Now we take you back into the wild. Adopting exotic pets has become a very popular practice over recent years, with many people adopting all kinds of lizards, snakes, and other wild, and I stress wild, creatures. While this may be a very popular trend, we have to keep in mind that obviously not only the massive responsibility it is adopting any kind of pet, but especially an exotic pet, but also the effect it would have on the animal as well, and the ecosystem added to that. Is it ethically sound to adopt exotic pets? These are the questions that we are asking today. And are there ways to go about this in a safe way for everyone involved? Well, we've invited a friend of the show, Esther van der Vestes, and zoologist and owner of the incredible butterfly world, to chat more about responsible pet choices. Esther, Happy New Year.
Thank you, Graham. Same to you.
Who have you brought in here? Who is your co-star stealing the limelight?
This is George. Now, George is a Madagascan hedgehog called a tenrec, and they've been on the pet market now probably the last 10 years, very popular. But it's, you know, you've got to have a very special affinity to keep them properly, because they sleep during the day. They're not very nice pets. They're prickly and they can bite.
They're literally prickly. He looks like the sweetest little guy.
He is
so obviously he is a native to Madagascar, and he has found his way all the way to South Africa. How are exotic pets finding their way around? Are we looking at kind of like this dark criminal underground dealing in exotic pets? How do they make their way across shores?
Most of the exotic pets in South Africa are privately bred, or you know, by pet owners or pet shops. We do get a lot of animals that are actually captured in the wild. They come to us via confiscations by Cape Nature or Nature Conservation or Animal Welfare authorities. You know, on airports, they get shipments of these things.
It is crazy to me. What kind of animals? Obviously, this is one indication. I mean, he's just can you see his little hands? Can you go close enough to see his little hands? Oh my goodness. What sort of animals are popular when we talk about exotic pets? Look at those little hands, man. Oh.
Look at that.
What animals are making their way to South Africa specifically?
Lizards, chameleons. Chameleons are very, very popular. Hedgehogs, obviously, we sat with about 50-odd hedgehogs in the beginning of last year. Then also birds, a lot of African greys, lots of parrots are popular pets. And then spiders, tarantulas.
Oh, well, you had to go there. Where do you sit with the ownership of animals like this? Obviously, assuming that they have been bred or they've been responsibly sourced, how do you feel? Because obviously this is your job and you're obviously housing a lot of animals that have been reconfiscated or found or been rehabilitated. How do you feel about people owning exotic pets?
You know, we get a lot of people who are very kind to the exotic pets, and you have the odd individual that look after their pets very carefully. But we're sitting with about 740 individuals that's been handed to us. That shows you that exotic pets might not be that cool idea that you started off buying.
The novelty wears off very quickly.
It wears off quickly, yeah.
Oh man, well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on this very controversial topic as we head into the wild. 021 430 9881. Are you an exotic pet owner? How do you feel about the ethical argument behind owning these incredible animals? We'd love to hear from you. Please send us some pics. We've got an expert in the house. We'd love to take your questions as well.
Oh, that baby hedgehog is absolutely adorable. And speaking of animals, when it comes to exercise, yoga has to be one of the oldest and trendiest workouts that's out there. And over the years, it's been seen many versions coming out, from beer yoga and goat yoga to even animal flow yoga. And we've decided to do a little investigation.
Now, when I think of yoga, this is the image that usually springs to mind. But this exercise form has evolved over the years, and a new form of yoga called animal flow is taking the fitness industry by storm. It improves your mobility, strength, endurance, and power. But let's see if it can give me a summer body. I don't know what I got myself into, but that looks a lot harder than I thought.
As a former dancer, Cara-Lisa Sham took her passion for health and wellness and turned it into a booming career and business for this health blogger, health foods producer, nutrition coach, and yoga enthusiast.
Right, Cara, so you get different kinds of yoga. I mean, Bikram, Kundalini, but what is animal flow?
So animal flow is very much a primitive-based movement, a small style of movements. It's kind of taking it back to before we were evolved and how we moved then. So, you know, kind of walking on all four limbs, jumping across trees, hanging from branches, all of that kind of stuff. The animal flow principle is basically taking back that movement.
And as someone who hasn't done this before, I mean, I'm doing it for the first time, what are some basic movements that I can try out?
Today I'm going to take you through 4 key movements. We're going to be doing traveling beast, traveling crab, forward kick through, side kick through, and then I'm going to teach you a scorpion to crab reach. The first move I'm going to teach you is called the traveling beast. And you'll see that all the moves that we do today are very much about functional movement, so it's mobilizing all the muscles in the body, working them simultaneously. We're going to come into all fours. I find it really helps to just imagine you are this beautiful cheetah or predator that is stalking to prey. So reverse the movements.
It's a lot harder than it looks. I'm even losing my coordination there.
Okay, so round 2. The next thing we're going to be doing is the traveling crab. So same basic principle, except your tummy's facing to the sky now. And can you feel those triceps working?
So this is a lot of work. I want to know what are the benefits of doing this.
It's really about developing fundamental strength throughout the body so that you're activating all muscles simultaneously rather than isolating specific muscle groups like you would in weight training. So you'll feel that over time, the kind of strength that you develop is very much across the entire body. The next combo I'm going to teach you, it's called side and front kick throughs, and what's really fun about it is it has a bit of a breakdancing kind of capoeira based feel, so you can really have a lot of fun with it.
Okay, Cara, it's that time of year where everyone wants to look good for their beach pictures. Will animal flow yoga give you a summer body?
It 100% will, but it's all about how much you put in. The more commitment and consistency you show, the better the results. So obviously a clean diet is absolutely essential, coupled with good training, such as animal flow, at least 4 to 5 times a week. Okay, so the last thing I'm teaching you today is called a scorpion into crab reach. So it's kind of a combo movement, also quite fun, really flowy, and not as cardio intensive, but still a challenge nonetheless.
After such a challenging workout, it's important to refuel the body and replenish lost nutrients with a healthy snack.
So, Cara, you mentioned that a very important part of having a summer body and maintaining and keeping your summer body is diet. Now, as a fitness enthusiast, you have your very own vegan ice cream range. Tell me more about that.
Yes, so I have my Claralicious vegan ice cream. We use coconut milk and coconut cream instead of dairy to make it, and we also use xylitol instead of sugar. So very low glycemic impact, low carb, really good for you.
And I think after all that hard work, we deserve a little treat, right?
Absolutely.
So now that you've got your summer body, don't lose it over the festive period. Eat smart, train hard, and be consistent. Smells really good ice cream. I'm enjoying it.
Ah, beautiful stuff. Well, we're going to continue with the real deal now, actual animals. We're talking exotic pets this morning. Esther continues our exploration into the world of exotic pets, and we have brought in Bob. It seems like everyone has a pet, Bob, all right? But we know that snakes are never really pets because they can't be tamed, but their nature can really be understood. Yeah. And Bob looks like a wonderful chap. Can I hold Bob for a second there? No. So you were saying that Bob is great for educational purposes because he's a lovely placid guy, and they're quite hardy, these pythons. What breed of python is Bob?
Bob is a ball python, and their natural demeanor is to be very calm. The Burmese pythons are generally calm, so we use these snakes in our educational program. And I don't mind giving that to a child. It's not a striking snake, you know. It's going to be calm.
And he's quite strong as well.
It's strong, so, so if a little hand squeeze it, it's not going to.
And he's absolutely beautiful. I'd say that he's probably going to constrict my hand right now. So what goes into? You've obviously now had an opportunity to look after some very exotic animals. Yes. What goes into the care of an exotic pet?
You know, Graham, you have to go back to the origin of the animal. Where does it actually live in the wild? To make sure that you know what to give it in captivity. We got handed an Arctic fox, for instance.
Why?
Now, how do you look after an Arctic fox in the Western Cape? So you've got to give it a room, an air-conditioned room. And if you have an animal that comes out of the desert, that moves around a lot, you've got to give it a big enclosure where it can move around a lot. But some of these animals are stuck in fish tanks, you know, where they don't get that movement. So you have to look at the origin of the habitat of these animals.
And take into account that they are wild animals very often. You know, they haven't, you know, as much as we are breeding some of them in captivity, they are still instinct-driven.
Correct.
You know, and their instinct stems from where they were brought up in the wild.
Yeah.
Is there danger? Obviously, Bob is not a dangerous character, but are there dangers involved with the exotic pets that people aren't taking into account?
A lot of these pets can become dangerous if they grow up. Take, for instance, meerkats. Most of the meerkats come to us because they're an adult, now they're aggressive. And people say, I can't keep it because it bites my toes and it bites my dog, and bites my wife. Take it.
You go, boy.
Yeah, parrots as well. Parrots can get terribly aggressive.
And I've been bitten by a parrot, and it's painful. It can be. If it gets you in the right place, it can be very dangerous.
Absolutely.
Where do we stand on releasing or re-releasing animals like this into the wild? Once they've tasted captivity, are they fit to be re-released? Obviously, you put a huge amount of care into giving them those conditions, but it's still not the wild.
No, it's not the wild. But your exotic pets really can be rehomed or taken back to the wild, because what is the wild? Where must they go to? And they are bred in such quantities that there's no space for them in the wild. Only when you have a very a proper breeding program for, say, an exotic monkey, and you have a release program worked out scientifically, you can rehome them back to the wild.
I mean, we're even seeing it with lions now that are being bred in captivity, that we just don't have the range for them.
No.
Bob, thank you so much. You've been a superstar. We've got one more very special guest to introduce you to. Thanks, dude. Oh, he's giving me those looks. He's like, hey, man, just stop stealing my limelight. We'll continue with Esther in a moment. We'd love to hear from you. 021-430-9881 if you've got any comments or questions regarding exotic pets.
No, I'm not keen on the idea of wild animals as pets, eh?
Not really.
Just leave them out there, like you're taking them away from that whole new world to like your little yard.
Yeah.
Don't do it, don't do it. Anyway, listen, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, what happens when punk rock meets skateboarding? Is it punk boarding or skate rocking? We'll find out.
What happens when strawberries meet cream?
Strawberries
You
and
get a
cream.
dessert. You get a dessert. That's what we make with Ashley Boyd.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You are just in time to meet a little skink. Look at that face. You might be forgiven for thinking that he was actually a snake, but if you can see on the sides there, he's still got some wee little arms and legs. This is a lesson in evolution you're giving us here today. So you can see where I stand on exotic pets and how interested I am in the creatures. I've got here a gent that I've dubbed Leonard because he just looks like a Leonard to me. He is a bearded dragon, you say?
Yeah, that's right. It's one of the most popular pets in South Africa,
Oh,
and
God.
they are from Australia, the same as this blue-tongued skink, an Australian animal.
I mean, you can see next to water and next to
Desert.
nothing. Yeah. So we've got, is it Nicola on the line from Johannesburg. Nicola, a very good morning. Thanks for connecting with us. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thanks. How are you doing, Graham?
Oh, very good. Very, very good. What's your comment or your question this morning?
No, I just saw on the TV, I've got an exotic pet. I've got 2 chameleons in my room.
You've got 2 chameleons. What are your chameleons' names?
My chameleons' names are Andy and Jane.
I love that. So, how are you finding having exotic pets like chameleons? Is it quite difficult looking after them? How have you found the experience?
No, it's not difficult at all. You just take them out twice a day to see something.
And do you think that it's responsible owning exotic pets like chameleons? Are you taking the necessary care to make sure that they're properly looked after, do you think?
Of course, yeah, because we do have all the insects in our garden.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Well, I hope they bring you and your family a lot of joy, and I love the educational element as well. Thank you so much for weighing in. Please post some pictures of your chameleons on our Facebook page. We'd love to see them. So you've mentioned... Thank you so much, Anne. She's running off to go and take photos of her chameleons. So you mentioned chameleons are very popular. We get a lot of chameleons here in South Africa.
Correct, yes.
Do we get imported chameleons here? What are the
Yes.
chameleons that we are finding when you consider the exotic pets? Or are they African chameleons?
We get chameleons from Madagascar that's been bred here, as well as from Central Africa or the eastern parts of Africa that's been brought down to South Africa. But our own indigenous chameleons are highly protected, and you just will not get a permit to keep them.
How are people breeding locally? Are there permits available? How easy is it to get a permit? Where do we stand in regards to legislation?
It's not easy. You have to comply to a lot of regulations. You have to apply for a permit. You have to state why you're doing that and what your objectives are. And then good luck to you to get a permit.
And that's good, but I think we really need to regulate this space. I really am of 2 minds because there is such a wonderful educational process, and you can teach someone a love of the wild and nature when they get to actually engage in that stand. How can people contact you at Butterfly World very quickly if they have issues with pets or need for you guys to swoop in and help?
The easiest is to go to our website, butterflyworld.co.za. That's the easiest thing to remember.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for bringing these superstars into studio. George, love you. Bob, love you as well. And you guys can continue to keep those comments and those questions coming in, especially pictures. If you are a responsible pet owner and have an exotic pet, we'd love to promote that side of this story. Definitely, responsible pet ownership is where it all begins. Look at that face. You've just got
that is crazy. I think I'm going to be doing this all day. Anyway, from some of the coolest pets in the world to one of the coolest sporting codes that I think many people will agree is super cool. Of course, skateboarding. It's evolved over the years and, of course, has spawned a bit of a subculture and has encouraged other art forms like the visual arts and music, of course, as well. And right now, it's becoming very popular in the township of Soweto because of a group that call themselves the Skate Society Soweto. Check it out.
Skateboarding is a sport that's been around for many decades, with the likes of Tony Hawk earning his stripes as one of the best in the game. But the sport hasn't always been accessible to anyone and everyone. The local skate scene, however, has seen a revolution in the past few years. And today I'm going to be spending the day with a group of young, dynamic skaters who are at the forefront of this transformation.
Founded in 2010, Soweto Skate Society was created to revolutionize skating in South Africa by making it attractive, organized and easy to access for youth in townships.
I decided to start Skate Society Soweto because there was really like a need, you know, from like the kids in the hood. Like I also was like once a kid from Soweto, started skateboarding. And it was so hard to like find skateboards, to find skate parks, to find like skate competitions or anything skateboarding related in Soweto. So, and within Skate Society, we hosted our own skate comps, and like we also get like little kids, like we find them like skateboards, because like skateboards are kind of expensive right now. It's a society for like skateboarders who like just need help, you know.
How has skate culture evolved over the years?
When I started out, there wasn't really that many people skateboarding or like that were into the skateboarding thing. Back then it was like, if you wore like skate shoes, you looked very awkward, you know. It's like, it was a very close-knit thing. Now it's like everybody is like inspired by it, you know. Like a lot of people are like doing collabos with bands, like people that don't skate or whatever. A lot of people have like been included in this thing now, you know, like through like the whole X Games, like Street League, like it became more mainstream, you know. And it's like, for me, that's all I really wanted to do was like promote skateboarding, you know.
Music is a big part of skate culture, and local punk rock band TCIYF are founding members of Soweto Skate Society who break down barriers and stereotypes.
My love for punk rock started very early. I wasn't certain that it's punk rock. I just knew it's rock and roll. As time went and I grew and I skated and met this guy, I realized, no, I want the punk rock. We actually didn't understand what we were going to receive out of this. We were having fun, exploiting what we can do. And then we started getting shows because of the receiving. Like the people want more of this stuff. They book you for shows and stuff.
It's been received like pretty well. Our band is guilty for starting a lot of interracial relationships. And we're guilty for making a lot of people have fun and go to places that they never go, like Soweto or the burbs. It's pretty amazing. The kids are awesome.
Once an obscure sport among black youth, you can now find YouTube videos of skating in Soweto, an urban skate park and regular competitions featuring Soweto skaters.
How's the experience been like since joining the crew back in 2011?
It's been nice to see how people have responded to us as kids that do extreme sports, you know. Not a lot of black kids do extreme sports in the townships, but now that we've actually seen the crows, it's become really nice. A lot of parents are very receptive to it. They actually promote their kids to skate instead of kicking a soccer ball or something else instead.
Is skateboarding an expensive sport?
But no, it's not as expensive as other extreme sports. I mean, it can vary. Like for myself, I used to go through a month like 3 or 4 pairs of shoes, and then amount of boards, I used to go about like 5, 6 boards. So I mean, depending on how much product you go through will determine how much you actually, you know, spend that month. But yeah, it's cheapest compared to the rest of them.
As the supportive community continues to grow, we might still see a cool kid from the Kasi representing SA in international skateboarding competition.
Skateboarding might have been for a select few in the past, but with movements like SSS, it's proving to be a great way of socializing amongst young people while breaking down cultural stereotypes.
Brilliant stuff indeed. But right now, bouncing back into the Expresso kitchen with the lovely Angie Boyd, who gave us a rundown of all those pastry trends we're about to see this year. But right now, she's putting her skills to the absolute test. Strawberries and cream, we love it. It's a brilliant combination, Angie. But you kind of putting your twist on it.
Got to put a twist on it.
We've got to put a twist on it because strawberries and cream, we love it. Like I said, is one of our favorite combinations, but we've got to do something new.
Yeah, a little different.
Okay, so I love what I'm seeing here. I love what I'm seeing here. There's a lot going on.
Because strawberries are still in season, they're very summery.
Yep.
So we've got our strawberries here, and we've made a balsamic syrup. So it's balsamic vinegar, sugar, a little bit of lemon, and you just reduce that down.
Okay.
Until it's a bit syrupy, and then you marinate your strawberries in that with a twist of black pepper.
You don't actually make your strawberries in it. You just make the sauce and then you
let them marinate.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got balsamic strawberries there, which I know sounds a bit weird, but it's a really nice combo.
Yeah.
So there you're bringing in your savoury element to the dessert.
Okay.
Like we talked about.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. And now we're going to make something called a Bavarian cream instead of our whipped cream.
Bavarian cream.
Bavarian cream, which is essentially a custard. So we've got our milk.
Essentially a custard.
We've got our milk on the stove.
Okay, so what do we use there? We've got some full cream.
Full cream milk.
Okay.
It must be full cream, it's important. That.
Love it.
And then a little bit of vanilla. You can use your pods or your essence. And then we've got 3 egg yolks here and some caster sugar.
All right.
So you're just going to mix this to a paste. And then I've got to keep my eye on that milk because we don't want it to boil over.
Let me get over the side.
And then what you're going to do is just pour a little bit of that hot milk into the eggs.
Okay, let's see if this is not too hot. There we go.
Sorry.
Okay, just a little bit.
Just a bit, I'll tell you when to stop.
That's very hot though.
Yep, it's good. So this is called tempering.
Sorry, I can't see. I can't see. Okay, we're tempering.
Tempering, so we just need a little bit more. We can give it a good, there we go. And then back on the heat.
All right.
So what this now is doing is just warming the eggs up so we don't split them.
Okay.
And then all of that is going to go back into the pot. I need this on.
Just going to turn this down.
No, it's got to be on.
Oh, it's got to be on.
High.
It's on high. It's on high. It's going.
And then we put that back in the pot, and then it should be fairly quick if the temperature is nice and high.
Okay.
And we're just cooking this until it coats the back of the wooden spoon.
Right.
So this is now our creme anglaise or basic custard.
Got it.
So as soon as it's nice and thick, coats the back of the spoon, we take it off and immediately strain it.
You do that so much better than I did.
Practice.
Here we go.
Strain it.
There's a mess. We can't deal with the messy kitchen.
Yeah, no, I'm
okay.
not good with messy kitchen.
Got it.
So we strain it just to get rid of all of that stuff. And then immediately we've sponged some gelatine here.
Okay.
So we're going to take that out. Oh, it's very spongy.
Very, very spongy.
And then that goes into your hot liquid.
Okay, but that will melt very quickly.
Really quickly. So that gets left to melt, and then you just put it in the fridge until it comes to slightly thickened, almost like a gel point.
So here we have, look at that.
Perfect gel point.
Right.
And then we're going to fold our whipped cream in.
Okay.
So it is pretty basic and
but it's
straightforward,
different.
but it's different.
Basic, but it's different. The keyword is dessert. SMS that to 33728. Dessert to 33728. We'll send you an ingredients list to your phone as well as a link to the recipe. Alternatively, go check it out on our website, expressoshow.com, a little bit later on. So once you have that, Angie, we're just going to make this.
This is our Bavarian cream. It's going to set nice and solid. We're going to put a little bit of our strawberries in to the glass. So use a nice glass, whatever's good. So that goes in the bottom, and then you pour your Bavarian cream over the top. And then it goes into the fridge to set.
Oh, wow, look at that.
So that's your strawberries and cream.
Quick and easy.
And then once it's set, you can put some more strawberries on the top.
And then it'll look like that.
There we go.
Brilliant. Very quick, very easy. Something different, I think. Angie, thank you very much. The keyword is dessert. SMS that to 33728.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA, made with love by Clover.
Oh, that certainly looks very delicious. And staying with the healthy cooking dishes for 2018, Chef Clem has put together a dish that will definitely be easy on the waistline, but mouth-watering and absolutely delicious at the same time. So make sure that you join the Afternoon Express team that's in the kitchen, where they will be preparing a coconut-crusted chicken and spicy green beans served with a creamy yogurt dipping sauce. That sounds absolutely amazing. Now, don't miss out on all the healthy action, as this dish might just become your new chicken takeaway solution.
Chicken takeaway solution. I'm down for that.
I'm down. I want to win a chicken dinner.
You know what I'm also down for? Another performance from Musli coming up after the break.
And then we're going to continue our conversation with Jaume Colette Serra, of course, director of the new Liam Neeson flick. It is The Commuter, and it's coming your way after the break. welcome back. You are live with Expresso, and we're back talking about all things tech and specifically the mind-blowing new gadgets being unveiled at CES 2018. It's the world's biggest consumer electronics show, and of course it's happening in Vegas.
Yeah, of course, some of us aren't fortunate enough to be there, so we'll bring you around up, yeah? So there's a company
cool
called
gadgets,
AEE Aviation Technology, and they've designed a smartphone case that doubles up as a drone. Now, it's called a Self-Fly, and it has a small built-in, or it has small built-in propellers and a camera. So when you unclip it from your phone, it then turns into a drone that you can then use, control via a phone app to take photos. So it's like one of those perfect things that you need if you're trying to take a selfie with a large group of people, trying to fit them all in, but nobody has an arm that's long enough. Or a stick that's long enough, so then you just fly the drone.
The pole, yeah.
There it is. So there, yeah, it's called, well, Self-Fly.
And that's going to be a game changer, I can see.
Isn't it going to be heavy for your pocket, though, to carry your phone in this thing?
Big anyway, man. You know?
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Interesting stuff, but yeah, imagine where that'll be in about 10 years. So now we obviously know that when washing machines were invented, our lives changed. No longer did people have to scrub away in a tub to clean their clothes. Then, of course, came the humble tumble dryer, and that, again, saved us time hanging up our washing and drying our washing. Now, a company has eliminated the next step in the process. It's called the Foldy Mate, and it's a machine that takes your clean clothes and obviously folds them perfectly for you. Roughly the same size as a washing machine, so you're going to need extra space in your laundry, but it can fold anything from shirts and towels to trousers and jeans. That is awesome. Unfortunately, it can't handle big items like bed sheets and those sorts of things, and it does come with a pre-order price tag of around 12,000 Rand.
I am down for that.
Hey.
I am so down for that. The Foldy Mate is
I hate
a thing to
ironing
have.
and I hate folding.
I like ironing.
Really?
I don't dig the folding part of it, which but I'm down for that.
Keep
like that
them.
is, I mean, wouldn't you buy that at home? A Foldy Mate? I know 12 G's is a lot, but I mean...
Now you need a robot to just do the in-between parts as well and then help you get dressed to tie your tie for you.
A robot to do... So now you give the robot all the laundry and then it starts the whole process for you, and by the time you get to the other side, it's folded
And when you wake up in the morning, you
everything.
say, I want to look hot today, and then the robot's like, maybe put one of these on. Yeah.
I don't know. Zoe, I don't know. Are you down for that?
Well, I'm down for you paying me 12K and I'll come fold your laundry for you. So how does that sound?
Get that money, girl.
From technology to the movies, Liam Neeson teamed up with director Kwame Koletsera for the 4th time in the movie The Commuter. It's a thriller set on a train speeding out of New York City, and that's exactly where our very own Graham headed to get another Expresso exclusive.
In Liam Neeson's latest action-packed thriller, The Commuter, the acclaimed actor collaborates for the 4th time with renowned Spanish film director Jaume Collet-Serra.
Jalma, so I'm connecting you to a legion of fans all the way on the other side of the world in South Africa. So
South Africa.
Gives me a great pleasure. Have you ever been to South Africa?
Shot in South Africa, shot a few commercials in South Africa.
And a lot has changed, but it's still just as beautiful. But
sure.
I know you are earning more fans there with the release of The Commuter. Absolutely brilliant. It was just what I needed to wake me up after 24 hours of travel.
Oh, yeah.
On the seat of your pants, the nuance, the balance between action and thriller, quite spectacular. Again, bringing us a very different Liam. What was the experience like working with Liam on this particular film?
We wanted to, obviously after having done 4 movies with Liam, we want to keep surprising the audience, and the only way to do that is to surprise ourselves. And I wanted to have him play a character that was normal, like a normal, regular guy who he doesn't have a dark past, or he doesn't have to redeem himself from something that happened. He's just a good dad, a good husband that has worked his whole life to provide for them, and one day society tells him, you're too old, that's it, it's over. And then through this movie, you know, he kind of gets his mojo back, and he proves that regular guys can be heroes too. And so it's ordinary guy in extraordinary circumstances kind of movie. So I think it's going to be very refreshing, because that trickles down to the action, which is not it's more simple but more tense. you know, he doesn't have any special skills on this movie. He's just a big guy in a train, throwing a couple of punches and losing most of the time.
Yeah, so taking a couple of punches along the way.
Exactly.
There is something, I'm glad you said a very real kind of guy, and you have brought us many Liams in different guises, but there is something that grabs you as a viewer, puts you in that seat. I find myself asking questions of myself. What would I do? How would I approach that? But there is a physical inertia to the film. Maybe it's got something to do with the train. How do you go about achieving something like that, a physical reaction in the film? Because by the end of it, you are exhausted. You feel like you've literally been on that train.
Yeah, that's just by keeping a good pace. I think that and not letting the audience rest too much. You know, I think that, you know, when you have a tense field situation in a pressure environment like a train, or a plane, you know, that you cannot get out of, and that creates that sort of thing in your body, you know, that makes you react. And I think that that's what we're trying to do, you know.
I've now got an 8,000-mile commute back to South Africa. I'm going to be looking at every passenger out the side of my eye. If there was one thing you wanted to achieve with this film, do you think you've achieved what you set out to do?
I think so, because it's very hard to have a thriller that also gets emotional and that has a meaning. You know, usually it's just about solving a mystery, but this is much more than that. This is some sort of a metaphor for a guy and how hard it is to go and commute and provide for your family and still come back home and be dad and be the best husband, and you know, and basically, you know, I mean, Liam, you know, is always saving his family, but the reality is that everybody's saving their own family when they go to work, and they're trying to do the best for them, you know, and that's everyday hero. So that works in the movie. I think everybody gets that feeling at the end of it. So that's why we're happy with it.
As a new father, I certainly feel that, and I absolutely love the film. Instant gratification of the action and a brilliant thriller element.
Great.
I think you've proven yourself a master of your craft, so thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you. Have a safe travels.
Thank you so much.
This is one train ride audiences aren't going to forget anytime soon. Get to local cinemas from 12 January when The Commuter speeds on to the silver screen.
Well, from stars across the ocean to stars right here in our own feel-good breakfast show studio, Musli is up again with another performance.
Welcome back to your very feel-good breakfast studio. Why do I say very? Because this starlet has blown my mind, actually, this morning.
Thank you.
Musli,
I'm so glad.
So cool to have you here to see this different side of your personality, because maybe this has been there all along, but you've obviously had to wear a lot of different hats and wear them with aplomb. You've done so well in so many different industries, all within that entertainment fold. Why take this step? What was the kind of click factor here that made you move into this very male-dominated arena?
very, very male-dominated industry, but so crazy for me. I never even had that thought when I first started. I was just like, this is exactly what South Africa needs. I'm going to take that space. But it's so great to be in a time now where there's so many female rappers doing it, like Gigi Lemaine, Rouge, Nadia Nakai. So it's a really exciting time. But for me, I mean, I was emceeing a lot of events, I was hosting a lot of parties, and I had a great relationship with a lot of artists because I worked on a music channel. So naturally, that transition just came when the opportunity for me to become an artist came. I really, really took it because you know what it's like when you're a presenter, you kind of like, you're the middleman, you're the representative.
I just wish I could sing.
You know what I mean?
I feel that every day, but
besides wishing you could sing, there's just some things that you wish you could say, but obviously you represent not only yourself, you represent a channel, you represent an audience. So when you're a musician, you kind of just get to say whatever you want.
I'm so glad that you said that, because there is a balance in the hip-hop game. You've got to come out really strong, almost aggressively so, especially if you're a woman. You've got to kind of show that you can step out there with the big dogs, but you also want to have a conscious message in that, you know. So how do you meet that balance between commercial and what you have to put out there and what you want to do as an artist?
You know what, it's really, really important to be honest with yourself. And for me, I never ever want to put out anything where if somebody asks me about it, I'm like, no, I didn't really mean it like that. What I actually meant was, so it's very important to be honest, you know. It's kind of scary to be a role model, but I'm very aware of the responsibility that I have. So of all the turn up and love songs and crazy songs that I have on my mixtape, I have a really incredible one called Sinisizwe with the Busi Nhlongo sample that I just did dedicate to the whole youth out there because I think we go through so much as just human beings, and I really wanted to motivate people. Yeah, so I wrote it for people, but I kind of needed to hear it too, and that's how I knew it was a special song.
Well, it's also, this album has to be an affirmation for you because this is your springboard, hopefully into the South African market, into the African market, the global. There is a self-belief on this continent at the moment. Would you tour throughout Africa? What are your designs? What's the next phase of your career?
Man, that's definitely the plan. You know, that's why I collaborated with a whole lot of different African artists. Gemini Major, who lives in South Africa, he's from Malawi, so hopefully we can go out there. We've got Victoria Kimani on there too. She's from Kenya, so hopefully we can take it to East Africa because I know I've got a lot of love out there. Mambo, everybody, and Jumbo, everybody. So yeah, I definitely want to take it all over. The vision for us is definitely global, but this is just the mixtape, so we're going to push it as far as we can. By the time we drop the album,
when will we see an album, Quigley?
You know what? In the middle of 2018, I don't see why not. You know, we're going to be consistent with the music.
Oh man, well, you've got a fantastic team around you, so well done for that. But you are delivering, and I'm saying this is not a reinvention. This is just an extension of who you are, which makes me feel very happy for where you are going. What are you going to perform? One last song.
So I've got one last song for you, and this is actually my favorite song on the mixtape. So you know, you always hear stories about how it's so difficult for females in hip hop. For the very first time ever, I found a female producer, and she is amazing. If you think I inspire you as a female rapper, this beat is going to make you guys turn all the way up, trust me.
So you better sit down or you better stand up. I don't know, just get ready, brace yourself. The floor is yours. Thank you so much. You are a superstar.
Thank you. Make sure you guys get the mixtape Verses out now. www.musli.com. Shout out Molly 1080. Come here, young my all of you niggas. Oh, I'ma pull up on all of you. Call me young my all of you. Oh, I'ma pull up on all of you. Yes. Tell your brothers to relax. Tell your sister to relax. Everybody just relax. Pull up in the kasi bonka bayang as blow my gas and relax. Busy Sanganisi Malia, Miranda and Yakunga next. Petty saga full of racks. Mina Yakunchale next. Even better in the flesh. Tell these bitches to relax. Yes. Tell these bitches to relax. Gel and pinch to relax. Everybody just relax. Yes. Tell your sister to relax. Gel and pinch to relax. Everybody must relax. Yes. Relax. Yes. Let's get it. First of all, I'm a stress. I'm blessed, you get blessed. Raps got me this stress. Scripts got me this necklace. 3 stripes, no ticks. Adidas got me my checks. See why I just flex. Zeros, bench press. Young test on Albany, Zens and running and press and don't miss. Got a place to go, so I'm taking off. I'm on my jets, I got next. Keep acting all irreplaceable, but then you know I should like you or more, but I do it all. I'm 25 with no stress. I'm living in the fall, whooping in the fall, picking in from the east. Upper echelon, never falling off. Go on for the summer east. Never in the mall, pocket full of rolls, Buddha rolling up the cheese. After that, we cut the cheese. Send a little to my kids. Yes. Tell your bitch to relax. Tell your sister to relax. Everybody just relax. Pull up in the kasi bonka bayang as blow my gas and relax. Busy Sanganisi Malia, Miranda and Yakunga next. Petty saga full of racks. Mina Yakunchale next. Even better in the flesh. Tell these bitches to relax. Yes. Tell these bitches to relax. Tell them bitches to relax. Everybody just relax. Yes. Tell these bitches to relax. Tell them bitches to relax. Everybody must relax. Yes. I hope you guys are relaxed right now. For real. Let's go. I let him eat me in the morning, call that Musli. And then he take me out for lunch and buy me Gucci. This thirsty dish in the streets, no abang to see. It don't get no better than this, so really soupy. Not bold, but you better. I'm in custom, that's the swagger. Logos like McGregor. Santin on my sweater. I don't need a plug, I know down design. Bring it to my house, I feel like I'm a full hope like a Stepford wife. Don't even ask the price. Relax. Matter fact, think it's best you just relax. When it comes to swagger, I'm the best. Yes, I make up better than the rest. Pull up in the kasi bonka bayang as blow my gas and relax. Busy Sanganisi Malia, Miranda and Yakunga next. bitches out of full of racks. Mina nyakunchale next. Even better in the flesh. Tell these bitches to relax. Yes, yes. Tell your bitches to relax. Tell your bitches to relax. Everybody just relax. Yes, yes. Tell these bitches to relax. Tell your bitches to relax. Everybody must relax. Call me young, my all of you. I'm a
Yes, yes, yes. Good old South African talent. Musli, one of the young up-and-coming rappers. Keep your eye on her. She's amazing.
It's so bright outside. I feel like I needed her sunglasses right now.
You can do with those Musli sunglasses right now. Yeah.
Yes. Well, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. This is your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's Expresso. And since it's Throwback Thursday, we're connecting with you on social media. Anati's celebrating his 25th birthday. We wanted to know, who is your favorite South African rapper? A lot of requests coming through. Banzile says, when talking of real rap, I would say AKA, Nasty C and Anati, to make them, well, to me, they are international acts. I can agree with you on that. Sipo says, Anati is 25. I'm turning 24 this year. I need to pull up my socks. Otanga are doing big things out there. Well, Sipo, you're only turning 24, so be patient with yourself over there. Ronaldo says, AKA, he's one of the few artists that really works hard to do great music. Big ups to him. And Anati here messages saying, Casper Nyovest for the win. He is the best rapper in SA that SA has to offer. Well, thank you for connecting with us on social media. Continue to do so. You can head on over to our Facebook page as well as Twitter page, and remember to use our hashtag Expresso Show.
Thank you, Zoe. Yes,
And the
what a
doggies are
day,
here
what a
too.
day.
Just chilling, man.
Wait, isn't
Just
this like the first time we've had them on?
They were here
on
yesterday.
stage? Were they
No,
here
they were
yesterday?
I didn't see them yesterday.
I didn't
so
see
I'm
them
gonna say
yesterday
Happy
either.
New Year, guys.
Yeah, well,
Happy
they
New
are
Year.
here. Listen, yes, tomorrow is a brand new day. It's Friday tomorrow, isn't it?
It is.
really
Yeah,
It's a Friday. Can you believe
You know when
it?
the sun does that thing?
The thing.
When it goes down and comes up, it's a brand new day.
Can you believe
Every
it?
week,
Man, blows
brand
my
new
mind
day.
every day. In the kitchen, something quite fun. Crunch-a-lot date balls.
Crunch-a-lot date balls. You've been
Crunch-a-lot
practicing
date
saying that for like half an hour.
I have,
you
just to get it right.
Crunch-a-lot date balls.
Get in your zone.
Kim Zeeb's running around in high heels. So guys, tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to play out
yes.
my interview with the one, the only Mr. Liam Neeson.
Was it as epic as it sounds?
It really was cool, guys. I won't
Yeah?
lie. I mean, like, I'm a complete groupie as well, like every man out there. But he had fun with me. He was just so chilled out, gave us so much more time than we were actually allowed.
That's cool.
Which
Thanks,
was so
Liam.
cool, really generous. And he worked so hard to promote his films, which was surprising to me. He must have done about 50 interviews just that day.
Wow.
So I was so chuffed with. But I mean, it's
I'm
Liam Neeson.
gonna watch the movie just
my
for that.
word.
Just for
oh
that.
my
I'm gonna
word.
watch
Do it,
Yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
So that's coming at you.
We'll also be talking about ways in which you can help your pets feel more at home.
That's it.
In
Do we need to help them
2018.
feel more at home? I don't know.
A carpet like this might help.
place.
You rent yourself a penthouse apartment in Cape Town, and then they chill. They just love it.
Make
That's
it in space.
Sometimes take naps on the job.
They have the best life. They have the best life.
Yeah.
Movies. We're also talking movies.
Yes, lots and lots of
ahead of
movies.
the weekend. That
Movies
Jake
about
Sebastian.
dogs being comfortable in 2018
Look how
on pub,
comfortable
in their
you
own
are.
homes. That kind of
Have your
stuff.
dog.
I think we should plant like GoPros on their heads and film like a day in the life of the Frenchies.
Can't afford the rates, dude. We can't afford the rates. That's the problem.
There's probably a lot of truth in that, you know. There's a lot of truth in that. But yeah, it's been a wonderful Thursday. Hope you enjoyed it with us, and we'll see you again bright and early tomorrow. Have a wonderful on the brand new day, which is a Friday. Yeah. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Too much for words.
Expresso Morning Show, made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.